All right, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for joining another episode of Harmonious Hour. I know, oh crap, a thumbnail. God damn it, common mistake. But I know we haven't done a Harmonious Hour in a couple weeks or whatever. You know, we've just been busy with other stuff, but we're finally back, and hopefully we're gonna be back with the consistent basis of a new guest every week. But today we have a very special guest. A longtime friend of mine. It's a very interesting story that I want to get into, but I have my friend ProdByTurtle here. Let me adjust the mic like this, and then it's gonna cover your vision.
No, you good. You good.
Okay. All right, you just gotta be able to like talk right into it. How you doing, man?
So I'm doing pretty good. But I appreciate you for having me. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, no problem, dude. This is interesting. He's actually editing a video while doing the podcast,
I'm
which is
the first one.
It shows how busy this guy is. What?
Am I the first one to like work while here?
Yeah, 100%. Actually, no, Blasey. We did a podcast where he did a graphic or whatever.
Shout out Blasey the GOAT.
But I feel like it's like I know you from like personal stuff or whatever it is, but I feel like a lot of people might just be finding out about you for the first time right now.
Sure.
Like what is your name and like what do you do exactly right now?
Shit, well, my name is Turtle, and what do? I really just anything creative. So anything from music videos to graphics to cover art, cartoons, designing clothes, production. Obviously, you're new to production initially. Actually, no, I shot a video for initially a skate video, if you remember. But
damn, I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, how disrespectful.
I have shitty fucking memory, dude.
Nah, it's good. It's good.
Wait, we shot a skate video thing?
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
That's legendary that you don't even remember.
Oh
Because this is like low key like the start to my like LA career, and he don't even remember it. So that's legendary. But yeah, I like to when I list that off too. That sounds kind of crazy because like. Someone would hear that and they say, I've heard a term like a jack of all trades is a master of none, right?
I heard that the phrase is wrong.
Yes, that is pure cap.
Yeah.
That's like I feel like that was like created by like, somebody with a good heart, because it's like 9 times out of 10, that's probably correct. But if you listen to that, you'll probably fall into the line of people who just like never try things, right? And it's like, I'm a firm believer, like where you're from, where you're at, nature versus nurture type shit, that's going to determine what you'll do in life, right?
Yeah.
So like, I could have been born in fucking Tokyo and been like designing planes or some shit. But it's like I grew up in the Midwest where like, rap was prominent, and like I saw big music videos and I had production around me and people were in music. So it's like I picked up certain things and tools to get me to these next points. So that's why I never kind of like listened to that. And
no, it's good to be multifaceted. And I heard that the original term is jack of all trades, but a master of one. That's what I heard it was originally. Yeah. And like you're a master of your own little thing that you do, but you're able to do all types of different things realistically, but 100%. You're good at this one thing particularly. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I kind of agree with that.
This should be fun, man. Like even like it's just 100%. It's one of those things, and like I said, it probably came from a good person with a good heart who was like trying to like help the homie out. Like, look, bro, you could do this, but you're terrible at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with me, it's just like if I call my mom right now, she could tell you like I designed my first T-shirts in like 2nd grade.
No way.
First production CDs, first everything I did, like all early on. Like
you've always been a creative person and shit like that.
I just didn't have the tools per se, And like think about what I do today, right? Like videography work. Like how the fuck I'm gonna get a red camera, $50,000 camera at 10 years old? Like that's not gonna happen. So like,
was that even out when you were 10?
Oh man, they probably had big cinema cameras forever.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just like the prices of them and like how hard it is to get these things. That's what I'm kind of saying about like your surroundings will probably like start you off and get the ball rolling, and then you'll learn more shit.
You have to make the most of what you have. You know what I mean? Like at one point you probably did think like, damn, I want to film something on a Red or have this crazy production equipment. But you really, if you want to do it, just do it with what you have already. You know what I mean? That definitely makes sense. But no, also it's like the whole idea of just like being multifaceted is like extremely helpful. It's just like if you only know one thing. And then guess what? Your little thing that gets replaced by AI or some robot. It's like, oh, that's it. You just know nothing. You got to go back to, I don't know, like living with your parents, I guess. It's like, no, it's like you can learn a whole bunch of different things that you can, mainly try to make money out of. And there's the things you can be passionate about that you probably don't make money out of, but you just want to do it regardless.
100%. And I think that's like low key the benefit too, because like all this shit comes in seasons. Like when I was a kid, what got me out of school, what like made me like, not a kid, but like, what made me like drop out of high school and be like, okay, I'm out this bitch. I was just making like $1,500, $2,000 a month off production.
Damn.
Just selling beats.
In high school already?
Yeah, for sure. And even as you said, damn, I'm like impressed, because like to me, that's not shit. But like where I was at, that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm living.
You were still living with your parents, so 1,500.
Like, okay, I'm running it up, and everything off of my brain was like thinking I'm richer than my teachers, because I was looking at the time, the fun, and how much money I made. I could sit down just throughout the night make like 10, 15 beats. You know what I'm saying?
Who are you selling these beats to?
All on YouTube. So like,
really?
Yeah. It just originally I was making Kanye West, Travis Scott type beats, Drake type beats.
And people hit you up saying, "Can I have that beat?"
Crazy. So you got to think about a Kanye West or a Drake type fan. This is like really big, like, you know, market. But to like kind of have the best market, you have to have like the best product. So like even right now, if you wonder like why not as much production, it's because I kind of don't have the sound for where I'm at, and I don't really force things in life, right?
I see.
Like back in the day though, if you got like a Watch the Throne coming out with Jay-Z and Kanye, and I'm like, I can make these creative beats, you know what I'm saying? I can do this. I have melodic sounds in my head. I know how to play. Let me do it. So I'm pushing these beats out. And this is kind of where I learned video work. This is kind of like where I learned graphics. This has taught me all these other traits. Like I said, it's going to bring you to these things. Because, like, I'm uploading beats on YouTube, but people are using just, like, a cover art. And I'm like, the cover art, cool. But if you had, like, a motion graphic, that would be even more fire. It could draw more attention. So I started, like, chopping up motion graphics, put them with the video. And then so it's a Kanye West type beat. It has, like, a old royal painting moving slower, some shit.
Wow, and you made everything.
So now people are catching, like, the aesthetic with the sonic, you know?
That's
so now
sick.
they're feeling it more. So now when they feel it more, I'm building a texture. So the texture I built, it got me up to like 12,000 subscribers. I had like almost 4 million like total views on my page. Some of my beats had like 80,000, 100,000 plays. So like this created a really big ego for me in high school.
You're still doing this in high school.
This was like in high school. I was like, okay, I'm fucking famous, and I'm in Minnesota at this time, by the way. So
okay, yeah.
Like,
well, I was gonna ask you about that.
There's not no LA shit. There's not no like Houston. I was in Minnesota, so like I'm super big headed, bro. I'm thinking like, nigga, I'm finna just sign a deal. I'm finna go crazy.
No
so
way.
like, I definitely had some good success, and shout out to all the subscribers and people who remember me as God De Niro Music. Cause you know,
there you go, God De Niro Music.
That was the original. You know,
that's why I also remember it. But
like,
let me ask you this though: I've never heard of people talking about that. I knew about YouTube type beats. I knew about production, people selling beats, but I never really heard of that hustle. Is that like a thing that a lot of people do, or it's
definitely a thing a lot of people do, but it was a
what's the success rate in that?
Crazy success rate. This is what I'm about to tell you. It's a pocket in time. So like right now, if I jump into it trying to become a YouTube producer, I'm gonna flop because there's a 13-year-old in Switzerland who's fucking going crazy. Okay, and has every Yeet type beat on lock, and he already got his subscriber base. He's already locked in, you know.
Okay.
But like at that time, there was a period in time where if people, you know, rappers and all that shit don't know what I'm talking about, it was SoundClick. You know what I'm saying? Before SoundCloud was SoundClick. And that's where you would upload beats, and people like Johnny Giuliano, Superstar O, a bunch of people like that would be uploading these beats, and I would be seeing other artists in my city buying these beats off this site. You know, $30 a beat for a lease. They can resell the beat up to 10,000 sales.
What does that mean to lease a beat?
So to lease a beat is just like leasing a car. It's like leasing an apartment. You don't even own it, bro. But you can make like 10,000 off of it though. So it's a good deal. So you make 10 bands, you damn near can come back and buy the beat.
But that's my cap. After 10,000, I have to buy it.
Right. So like we're thinking about it like this: 99 cents a single. Once you make 10,000, you sold 10,000 singles. So like a lot of artists, that's why after the fact they'll go back and purchase the beat exclusive rights because it's like, I gotta own this. I'm making too much money off this. I don't want no one to take this money from me. So what I would do is kind of like flip it on its head. I'm trying to only sell exclusives. So even at that age, like I said, it's a pocket in time where people were, transitioning from SoundClick into YouTube, because YouTube is, like people forget like Soulja Boy is like one of the first rap videos on YouTube, and like this is like the people who inspired me. If I'm seeing Soulja Boy, not necessarily musically, but if I'm seeing him direct a music video, produce the beat, put out the song, run the marketing, create a dance, what's today? TikTok, YouTube, self-broadcasting, make your own beat. It's like, okay, this nigga was on some shit. This nigga like Gary Vee, but like from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
Like, if you look at it for face value, like my dad used to be like, what the fuck are y'all listening to? This shit's garbage, you know? But I'm like, nah, you don't get it. Like, this nigga's the GOAT. Like, I'm a fan of Kanye. Like I said, I'm really big on the DIY movement. Mm-hmm. So like, if you see people like Russ, even I don't like, some people don't like his music, but like anybody who does all their own shit, I fuck with you.
No, 100%. That's true. Because it shows like you're really invested. A lot of people, they may want to make music and all this stuff, but they just see the diamond watches, the chains, the money, the girls, all that stuff, and they just like hop into a studio and do a little thing. And they're like, yeah, I was in the stew. But there's dudes who are actually, like you're saying, fucking dedicating so much work and time into learning every little aspect of making music before they even make the music.
And that's like what I was peeping and shit. So the as far as like the profit margin and shit like that, I just caught it at a great time in history in which where I could like upload these beats, and I was one of the like early on people, and then I was one of the early on people with really cool motion graphics, and I was like I said, I separated myself aesthetically. It's kind of like an example of like Target versus like Gucci or some shit. I was trying to be more Gucci or Balenciaga or more whatever than I was trying to be like everyday shit.
Okay.
And even to this day, that's why I kind of like pride all of my art off of like, I can't give you a Future type beat, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to go to his producers for that. But I can give you a unique sounding, you know, interesting type shit, which is all from me, from my heart, from my, you know, I can only even create as far as like production, I can only create it through my heart. I have to be like going through something, I have to feel something, I have to be in the room with you and be like, okay, this artist needs this right now.
I feel
even if the artists don't know they need it, I'm damn near gonna convince you, show you why, and explain to you like this what you really need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
wait, hold on. Let's bring it back a little bit, just so
y'all know I be talking. I ain't gonna lie. I be
no, this is good. This is good because you know there's those guests where you ask a question, they're like, yeah, that's cool, and then like it's like you're like, okay, that's awesome answer.
No, y'all gonna have to shut me up. I ain't gonna lie.
But just so people know, you said you're from Minnesota. You were
from Minnesota,
born
Twin
and raised
Cities.
there?
I call everybody twin. This is my twin right here. You know what I'm
shit.
saying? We twisted up. But yo, yeah, I'm from Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota.
How old are you?
How old am I? Who knows? I'm just kidding. 26. I'm 26 years old.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I literally forget. Like, I don't know.
Really?
Not that I don't believe in, like, age or no shit like that. Because, like, I low-key find that corny. But, like, I don't pay attention to, like, anything. Like, if you didn't tell me Wednesday at la-da-da-da, I wouldn't even know, bro. Because, like, on a day-to-day basis, I'll give you a quick, like, fun story. When I was in the 2nd grade, my teacher told me, like, all right, everybody, write the date at the top of the paper. It's, you know, October 2001, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, 2001?
Oh,
and
my God.
I was like, what's that? And she was like, honey, no one ever told you about the year? And I was like, no. Like, I was low-key, like, let down with my parents. Like, nigga, like, no one told me shit. Like,
You were in 2nd grade, didn't know the year?
Bro, I was dumb as fuck. I was like, nigga, like, what are y'all talking about the year? And so that just gives you context. Like, I don't think I was just dumb. I think I was just focused on other shit. I might have some kind of, you know, something going on in there, but who knows? So anyways, so I'm 26, you know what I'm saying, from Minnesota, but it's ironic because, like, I moved out of there when I was 2, but I went back when I was, like, 7, and then I left again once I was 12.
Where'd you go?
I went to Nebraska originally, which is a crazy place to go. Most people think it's, like, full of corn and shit like that, but it's low-key pretty decent.
What'd you do out there?
Just
like you went to school and shit, probably like a kid, right?
Yeah, just regular life and kid shit. My parents were together at that time. They had split. That's why I went back to Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was just in Nebraska. I actually have a family of 5, so it was all of us all together. My dad had got this like really nice house. You know what I'm saying? We was just like kicking it. Just
where else did you go?
Shit.
Just Nebraska and Minnesota?
I was in Nebraska, and then when I came back, I went to Minnesota like 7 years old. Then I left at 12. I went to Texas, and that's when like shit started getting really lit for me.
Oh, really?
That's
Why'd you go to Texas?
So I went, like, my mom and dad broke up, and my dad was like in Nebraska and shit, and he was like, bro, like as soon as you turn like a certain age, I'm gonna move you out. We're gonna go somewhere else. I'm like, all right, bet. So he called me one day, like random as fuck.
Because he didn't want you getting to the like area stuff, maybe.
Not necessarily. It was more or less like, you know, like just a boy needs his dad type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like my mom was a little, you know, she was her own kind of person. She was on some shit. She was definitely like my mom, like low key a gangster. I ain't gonna lie. So, like,
shit.
she was doing her thing, but I ain't trying to put no, you know.
Yeah.
My mom cool. She definitely she a real nigga. But yeah. So my dad was like, yo, you gonna come down to Texas with me? I'm like, all right, bet. It was just like a quick phone call, like how I would call you, say what's up. He was like, yo, I'm in Texas. Are you trying to come? I'm like, yes. Give me a flight. So I instantly get a flight to Texas. I go down, live with my dad and my uncle. At the time, I'm thinking my uncle's like rich, you know what I'm saying? He is like decently, you know, he worked hard for his shit. He was in the army and shit. But like he had a Texas house, and the Texas house is a lot different than like a Minnesota house. Because where we come from.
Were you living on army property or whatever it's called?
Nah, not even like that. This is like after the fact. He just like, he was breaded up by that point and like could just show me like this is the house I own type shit, right? So like I'm coming from houses that are like 1 story, 1 level, you know, like low income, kind of like, not like we wasn't rich, but like, you know, we didn't have, you know what I'm saying? So I'm coming from like seeing like, okay, I see everything, right? I'm seeing like not the good side of it shit yet. Then I see my uncle's house. He got the 2-story shit in the suburbs. He's in a place called Harmonious, Texas, right next to San Antonio, Texas. And I'm like, damn, bro, lit.
So you're seeing like both sides of like where you came from and like the potential.
It's like on some like Will Smith type, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type shit.
Yeah.
Because like I'm coming from like St. Paul, Minnesota, which a lot of people only know like due to like the George Floyd shit. And like they like, oh shit, there's black people up there. Like y'all got, it's kind of ghetto up there. Like yeah, like it's a hood everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
So like I was coming from there, and then I eventually went to see my uncle, and I'm like, oh shit, and it kind of opened my mind up. And I'm gonna be real, like I do talk a lot, and a lot of people be like, you're so well spoken, whatever. But it's kind of, I got that from my uncle. Like he was like a dictionary. He would teach me like all these big words, and he was very business savvy, and my dad was business savvy, and he was like a hustler. And my cousin Carlos, he actually was a producer at the time. He was on FL Studio. So this is where like the production shit really started rolling too. I'm like, I'm about to be like my cousin because he was like super raw, like graffiti.
And how old are you at this point? Like 17, I'm guessing?
No, not even. This is like 13.
Oh,
like
shit.
12,
you're still
13.
13. Okay,
yeah,
wow.
This is like,
wow.
Because this is when I went to Texas with my dad. First time. I'm young as hell. So like,
okay.
I'm seeing everything. I'm like, okay, bet. I'm like, this is 8th grade, 8th grade Turtle. I'm looking at everything like, all right, bet. I think I know what I want to do. So that's when I just kept pushing with the production shit, and I really started uploading and going crazy. That's like the beginning of my YouTube days. Then I went back to Minnesota when I was like 17, 18.
I see.
And that's when like shit kind of like, it didn't go like downhill for me. It went downhill for me as far as like school wise and shit. Cause like I had already been to Texas. I knew what I wanted. I loved the weather. I loved everything about it. And then like my mom basically like kidnapped me to come back. And like I think she did it on some shit like to get back at my dad on some court shit or something. I don't know.
I don't know much about Minnesota other than that Lil Yachty song where he's like cold in Minnesota. Like, how was it like growing up in there other than it being fucking freezing cold?
So growing up there, it was actually honestly I give it all this credit. It was super cool. It's my story, so I can say it. Like, low-key, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I be feeling bad about, like, talking about certain shit. Because, like, I don't want to, incriminate this person or make this person sound crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's my story, too. Like, I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck,
You don't have to say names.
No, yeah. But, like, and so throughout this, I'll probably just, redact a few different names. But, yeah. Anyway, so, like, growing up, it was really cool, actually, because, once again, I could see both sides. My mom was adopted. And adopted by white people, and I actually would go to a school in the suburbs in elementary, and I lived in the hood. So like I would wake up in the trenches and then go to the suburbs, and then by the time I got there, I was just disturbing everybody. Like all the kids could literally tell you from my 2nd, 3rd grade class, they're like, bro, this nigga used to stand on the tables and tell everybody he's gonna be rich. Like he used to just tell everybody.
You were just reckless and crazy.
Because I was broke though. I was like, okay, like that whole saying of like the kid who's like the most broke, whatever, is gonna be like a class clown. That's like 100% true. Like
I never heard that.
I just like they say like kids who are bullies, kids who are class clowns, kids who get in trouble, they're like hiding something. They're deflecting, you know. So I was doing exactly that. I was like, I don't got no clothes, I don't got nothing, but like I just believed in myself. So like kids will tell you around that time, like I'm bringing CDs and my beats to school. Soulja Boy's out at that time, so I'm already receptive and knowing like, okay, I gotta break the matrix in a way. So my teachers always would know that. They would.
When did you find out about Soulja Boy, through his MySpace days?
Yeah, or? MySpace early on.
You were early on that shit. I found out about him like through his music videos and stuff like that, but I was not going to his MySpace.
Before Soulja Boy made it, his first videos, first everything. I'm an internet kid, and this is what I'm saying is so cool, bro. Like I was like. All the kids who were in my neighborhood, like, just to be real, like, we didn't have certain resources. But if I went to grandma's house, she low-key got the computer with the Wi-Fi. And this before, like, dial-up versus, like, today these kids have 5G and all this shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, we had dial-up, but we had to wait, 5-10 minutes for some shit to load up.
God
you know what I'm saying? So, like, do you remember that dial-up?
Yeah, I for sure remember.
For sure.
I remember you could not make phone calls while someone was on the computer because that would fuck up the computer signal, all that. So you couldn't get phone calls. You'd have to like tell people not to call you so you could use the computer.
I don't even remember that, but I probably wasn't getting too many phone calls at the time. But yeah, so
okay, wait. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying I would just go to my grandma's house and like that's when I would do like this long process of like, okay, when I'm at grandma's house, I'm gonna cause bro, shout out to Soulja Boy and all the producers who are following after him, they would upload these tutorials on how to produce and how to do things.
Sick.
So like I would make sure
on like YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I would go on YouTube and I would take like a camera from my grandma's shit, like the Polaroid shits, and I would take a picture of the screen. Back in the day, screenshot. Like today you have a screenshot. This is me taking a picture of a screen. Then I would print that out on her printer. Then I would bring it home and reference it because I didn't have internet.
No way.
So like it just shows you like the drive early on type shit.
That's sick.
I would just start making those beats and start doing shit. And early on growing up, I always was just producing, always on my music shit and just making sure that's what I say focus on. I don't think there's a grade where I like got a grade above like a C ever.
Shit.
I think all my like
because that just
my
wasn't your focus.
Whole life, like they were like, nigga, you're not dumb. Like they know for a fact, like you're not dumb, bro. But like I just couldn't focus in school. So growing up, definitely had troubles in schools. I went to a new school every single year after 6th grade.
Because of fights or bad grades?
Just I was moving like that. Even like when I was saying like traveling different places and shit. If I'm in Nebraska, starting off school there, then I go back to Minnesota, then I go back to Texas, then I go and then all these different places. We're moving every year.
You were probably not really able to make any like super close friends, huh?
It's actually the opposite. I made a best friend everywhere I went, and then I had a group of friends everywhere I went. And the sad part is kind of like what we were talking about before. before a stream, I'll forget about these people because they're very small to me, being I went to so many schools and met so many people.
Yeah.
And to them, I'm so big because they're like, bro, that was one of the craziest years of my life. Or, you know, we did so much together, whatever. And I'm like, damn, like I low-key feel bad. But like, I still got like all my friends I've like low-key ever met. Like any of my best friends, any of my people that I fucked with, they're still my best friends to this day. They love to see me win.
That's fine.
You
no,
know?
the older you get, the harder it is to fucking just remember shit. Like you said, we were talking about that. But okay, so I want to get to this part of the story. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Let me know how you remember it, because this is how I remember it. And like I said, I have shitty memory. But for my memory, at this point, I was not streaming. I think I was maybe like interning, just starting to intern for No Jumper, doing things here and there, and they were like kind of talking about me on camera here and there. I was not like a part of the content, like a big piece of the content by any means at all. But I had my own vlogging channel, the Harmonious man, where I posted my skateboarding vlogs and all that stuff. And dude, I was getting like 30 to 60 views a video.
100%.
Maybe if I did something really interesting, I might get a couple hundred views, but mostly it was like 30 to 60 views I got a video. And I met like maybe 2 or 3 people on Melrose who were like, yo, I watched your videos. And I was like, no way, dude. I was like, you watch my videos? I'm like, what do you mean? And you were one of those people. I remember I was in front of No Jumper and you came up to me and you're like, yo, dude, like I fuck with your channel, I fuck with your videos. And it, like I said, it was one of those things where I couldn't believe it, because I was like, I get like 30 views. I was like, you fucking my videos? I was like, what the fuck?
You actually told me that too. You were like, really? I'm like this?
Because I'm like,
what does Eddie always say? I'm proud of you, Yuri.
No, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. But you told me, you're like, yo, dude, like I fuck with the videos. You're like, I've been keeping up with No Jumper and, you know, your content. You're like, I just moved out to LA. And you said you're like, I'm trying to get my foot in the door with this, you know, video production or music video making thing or whatever, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, for sure. And then we kind of just like talked a little bit. And I think we got exchanged each other's information. And I think like about a week later, either I hit you up or you hit me up and we're like, yo, let's smoke and chill. And you just came through to when I lived with my mom and my dad still. My mom was at home. You came through with your homies and we just
came up.
We just were rolling up in my fucking mom's, or like in the bedroom. And then we went outside to smoke and we kicked it. And then I feel like I haven't seen you since then.
It's literally, that's what's so beautiful about this, bro. Like, I want people to know, if you have a real friend that's actually successful, it's going to be like a me and Yuri story. Like, we both low-key took off at the same time and like never got to like see each other after that type shit. It was just, like I said, moments in time like that are super important to me, because it's just weird. And to kind of like go back in the story, you look, he have it all wrong.
Oh,
he has it all wrong, y'all. It's all good though.
Of course, okay.
But this is what really happened. Let me tell the real story. What really happened?
Oh shit.
So,
okay.
Yuri's really the GOAT though. All the shit with the videos, that's true. I did say, yo, I fuck with your shit. Everything's dope. You know, whatever. But this is how it really happened. I was already watching Yuri before I came out here. You were doing your skate videos. You're doing your thing, and ironically, Adam had made a tweet. And he had said something with some interview went wrong. Y'all can go thank Yuri. And I felt so bad. I'm like, damn, because like I'm already knowing about. I do engineering. I know about all this kind of work.
It was the
and
little
I'm like,
Zen interview. I remember.
like, yeah, and I'm like, bro, I've made mistakes like this. Like, I'm gonna go follow this kid. And then when I followed you, to my surprise, you had really good content. And I was like, oh, people are asleep on this shit. Like, he's really good with content. Like, it's really like this is like people gotta understand. This is already like 5 years ago now. So like. This is early days of content. And, of course, you probably had streamers you looked up to at the time, but it was not as popular as it is today to be a streamer, to create shit like this and to do it. And he was doing that, whether it was the IRL streams, the skateboarding streams, the climbing buildings.
I was already streaming when I met you?
You were low-key already streaming, bro. It was just not, like, as popping. You were just super spread out with it. It'd be like you and your homeboys and shit, or you would film a video, post it the next day. It was kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
And, yeah, I would just see Yuri doing his thing, and I just thought it was inspirational because I saw, you know, myself and him and me, whatever the fuck. Pause. That sounded crazy. That sounded crazy.
I saw myself inside of you.
Pause. Crazy. But nah, I was like, bro is like me. He's, you know, he's a creative and he's driven, and that's dope. And if I'm not mistaken, you were working at what was it, like a appliance store, right?
Yeah, I was installing appliances.
Yeah, so that's
right
where you were working
Melrose
at. You weren't even. I don't even think you were fully integrated into that universe.
No,
yet,
yeah, I
but
wasn't.
You were like still like, I think, not to speak on your pockets, but I think you were like kind of like voluntarily kind of like, you know,
basically I was. I was definitely not getting paid at that time, but like you were saying, it's like I was so interested in the whole YouTube sphere of stuff. I was just getting into it, and I got this opportunity to work with a channel that I really fuck with, is super successful, and I got to help out. I was like, dude, just the the learning experience here alone is like is just worth it in itself. You know what I mean? That in itself is fucking priceless. And I remember I was watching a lot of Joe Rogan interviews, and that's one thing he always talked about is like a lot of young men feel entitled to like immediately becoming successful, where he's like, you got to be willing to kind of just be the bottom of the ladder for a long time, and then you know, be willing to hold that position or do as much as you can to get out of it. But he's like, if you can't just like not try, or you can't be willing to be on the lower end of the fucking spectrum before you fucking level up or whatever. I remember I was thinking that, and I never even like, it wasn't even a thing where I was like, they you know, someone asked me to help, and it wasn't even a thought process like, oh, am I gonna get paid? I was like, I get to fucking help. I was like, fuck yes,
I low-key
dude.
missed that part of this journey where like I was just excited to do shit. These days, like my customers tell you hit my phone, I'm not leaving for like less than 500. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit. Like, you know, I'm way more like, and not even on no cocky shit. It's because like my schedule's that packed. Like, like it's just that crazy. But,
I was telling him, I was like, dude, I follow him on Instagram, and you guys should as well. Produced by Turtles on Instagram. Every time I watch your stories, you're either like, hey man, too busy to be on IG, I'll see you guys in a week, or you're like posting flights of you like arriving and you know, leaving places. I'm like, damn, this will not only that, but you're like posting things of you like, you know, editing on the plane or editing at a fucking coffee shop, trying to get things done while you're doing other like, you know, events with Desto Dub or some shit. I'm like, bro, I can't imagine.
That shit like low-key got
busy.
me in trouble too, cause like Dub, like as soon as after an event, he's like, we all finna go out, and like we went to like this really like crazy Italian restaurant in New York. And like he's like, you know, whole team's gonna be there, whatever. And I'm doing the same thing. I probably say whatever. I just realized that a lot. I'm like, I be saying that shit and la da da. But anyways,
and la da da.
I be like la da da. But you know, I'm sitting here with my laptop at the table, and everybody who knows me knows this is what I do. But I got customers hitting me because like he put me on his story working, and like they'll be hitting me like, oh, I just thought my work would be done because like I see you out with Desto, and like I thought, you know, and I'm like, nigga, like. Little do you know, if you saw the other side of this computer screen, you're on it. But like now you just fried yourself. Now I'm about to close this bitch. Like, not because it's like I'm that kind of nigga. Like you send me a text irritating me, I'm damn near finna just push your shit to the side now. Because it's like I take a disrespect, because it's like if you know me and if you know my work, you know I'm not finna play by my shit. And like I done dealt with labels, indie artists, everything. I take everything very seriously. So if I say I'm taking some time off on Instagram or whatever, it's because I really care about it so much. Like even right now, I didn't even repost I was here. Why? Because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I will after the fact and shit. And it's like, you know, it's one of those things, bro. I care about it so much, and I care about my art so much. I don't ever let it, like I was telling you, I won't weaponize it. Or even if I'm with my son or something, I'll never tell somebody, oh, I can't edit because I'm with my son. Because now you're going to start to grow a hate for my son. That makes no sense. It's not his fault that, like, you know, so I won't even bring that into it. And like I was telling you, I don't even explain myself. Because if I tell you, oh, I'm with my son and he just fucking threw up all over the place and I have to clean it up and then I have to change his outfit and give him a bath, it might take me 45 minutes. They don't want to hear that. So I might as well just do what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it sounds like an excuse. So I'm like, let me just do what I got to do and then get to it. I send them their shit 10 times out of 10. They're always happy.
You know, it's funny. I've noticed the same mentality with my dad during the appliance installation where, you know, sometimes we're installing in apartments and stuff like that.
Oh, you did that with your pops?
Yeah, because I was doing it with my dad through this company that he was working with. He basically got me a job there, right? Nice. And I was like his assistant and shit. And when I was when we were doing these appliance installations, like sometimes we're going, well, actually, dude, like maybe more than 50% of the time we're going to huge, nice houses in different areas all over Los Angeles, right? And sometimes the people are there and they want the shit done as soon as possible. They want it done in this way, that way, blah blah. And my dad will come through and he sees that something's not right, where he's just like, nah, we can't do it, you know what I mean? Like, not until these other dudes come through and do this thing, then we can do that. And sometimes they have these, you know, like kind of temper tantrums with like, oh my god, it's like we've been waiting a month for this fridge, blah blah. And my dad has this mentality like you're saying, where he's just like no, you know what I mean? Like we're not doing it. Like it's like he doesn't like kind of give no excuses. He just tells them like no, this sorry. It's like he explained that to me as well. He's like, you just gotta be hella firm, where it's like you can't be like kind of apologetic when you know that the answer is no, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to a timeline with things like that. Yeah,
and I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting better at saying no. Like I have a lot of the so think about even me and you, like, and I'll get back to that story too, because I'm sure they're all like this nigga derailed from that, but even with me and you, like I had actually offered to shoot you a skate video. I was like, let me shoot you a video, like a little skate video, little recap. Let's see what it comes out like, whatever. And it came out pretty cool. I think like I had like did some like little effects on it. It was nothing crazy. And it kind of just was like, me giving you a gift saying like, yo, I appreciate what you do for the culture. You know, let's lock in.
Thank you, dude.
And it eventually it worked because you fucked with the video. I know you probably don't remember it now, but like,
bro, I don't. I want to watch this video now. God damn,
we gotta find it. But I'm sure it's somewhere.
Oh my god, this is terrible. Like I said, we haven't seen each other since that day. And dude, after that, like a while after that, I moved out, got into a roommate situation. I remember hitting you up saying, bro, just got my own spot, come through, smoke, blah blah. Never ended up working out. Got my first apartment with my girlfriend. Same thing, hit you up saying we gotta link up, come through, smoke. Never ended up working out.
It be happening.
And now we're fucking here in the third spot, and I'm like, now we could finally fucking link up, and it's
I ain't
chill.
gonna lie, we locked in. I still might go missing for another 3 more months. But that's just how it be though. Like, and that's why I do like extend out. Like, yo, y'all should come to these pop-ups, or y'all should like, you know, or like we're over here, we're doing this, but like I just totally understand it. Like even what you're doing, what I'm doing, it's hard for them to merge. But then when they do merge, I low key be mad because like when I'm at the No Jumper show in New York, I'm like, where the fuck is Yuri?
I know, dude.
I'm like, nah, it's some bullshit.
When you're at that Desto Dub event, the
all
car
this
thing,
shit, everything. I'm like, bro, where the fuck is, you know? But it's like I'm not, you know, I don't be tripping off this shit. I just know it's gonna time out when it times out.
Exactly. Let me ask you this though, because I feel like a lot of people who are, you know, who are trying to get into this like kind of sphere of stuff would be interested. When I first talked to you that one time, and you were telling me like, you know, I just came out to LA, I'm trying to get all these things together.
Let's talk about this.
How did you get your foot in the door? Because at this point,
Yuri was scared for me, you guys. He literally told me like, bro, please don't come out here and go homeless. You know, you told me that. Like, bro, this is how I came out here, y'all. Just so y'all understand, like, how crazy Turtle is. Like, my boy Jordan, Eye Contact with Strangers is his name. He which actually is a crazy name. Now I say his name is Eye Contact with Strangers. Like, that's fire. But anyways, he came out here because he was working for the airline and he had a free flight. And he was like, yo, I got this flight to LA. The catch is it's only for one day.
You got a free flight out here.
Only one day. I'm like, let's do it. Let's go out there for a day. So that's when I hit you up to shoot the skate video. I was like, I'm coming out to LA. Let's link. You're like, I'm going to be on Melrose. Meet me at Brooklyn Projects. That's what you say. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to meet him there. Don't even know what that is. I'm like, how are we in the Brooklyn Projects if we in it? I'm not going to question it. Let's figure it out. So I get there. It's a skate place, you know.
That's funny.
Yuri's like, all right, cool. He's like, actually, let's ride down to No Jumper. Like, I'm about to actually go over there. So, like, you actually, like, that's where we walked down the street of Melrose and went there. And when I went out there, the funny thing about this part of the story, and that's what I'm saying, like, this is like my LA, like, how did I get in the door? You can't even recreate this shit. I can't even lie to them. Like, they can't. They just moment in time type shit. So if I'm going to the No Jumper store, that means Adam's right here. This is the same block where Dub would post up. This is the same block where Yuri would skate and do his streams. This is the same block where, like, at the time, it was that car wash right there. It wasn't the apartments.
Exactly.
So at the car wash, everybody sitting, smoking, kicking it, all these creatives. And I remember I had 24 hours. So I seen this and I was like, bro, what the fuck? This is how life is? I'm like, I'm moving out here. It's over with. Mine made up. I'm done. So we catch the flight back, and I think I hit you like, bro, I'm about to be back out there in a month. You're like, oh, really? Like, how are you doing that? And I'm like, I'm just going to move out there. I don't give a fuck. Like, I got this shit.
And I think that's why I told you that is because I remember like, you had told me that like you were like I just want to be out there and I want to work and get
which sounds terrible.
Get these things together, and you're like, I don't know what my plans are, but I'm doing it. And I've heard that same thing from because like, I've lived in LA.
Shout out Mr. Organic. I'm really one of them ones. You know what I'm saying,
dude? And I met a lot of people who like told me that same story, and I'm like, yeah, cool, right? And then like a lot of people, if they don't end up deciding to like, oh, this is too much, I'm moving back home to get my financial foundation back together. A lot of people will end up just fucking start living in their cars, or something happens to their car, they live on the street. And like I've had a couple people I know who came out here to do stuff and end up just being homeless because it's fucking hard and expensive as fuck.
It is hard,
and that's why that's why I was telling you that.
I ain't gonna lie too, and this is gonna sound crazy, but a lot of these niggas be way too pussy, bro. A lot of people just be way too scared. You don't know how to really
take risks.
Yeah, you don't know how to really follow your dreams. You know how to like act like you are, or like stand next to somebody and post a picture. Like it's so much shit I've done, so much shit I'm a part of that I would never post, never say, because it's never been about the validation. It's more about, okay, each step is like a stepping stone, and the more I get closer to my goal, the more I understand, okay, I'm not where I want to be yet, but when you look back, you came a long way. And that's more of a better way to like put it in like a, phrase for people, so they don't think about it like, oh my God, how do I come to LA? How do I start it off? Don't think too hard. Just think about making every point. Like if you're going to play a game of basketball, how the fuck are you going to like, oh, we're down 30 points. What are we going to do? Like,
you can't score a 30-point fucking shot. No, you got to score 31-point shots.
You have to just keep going hard. Now, you might catch a three, which is like a big, play. You might have to bust down a couple like alley-oops, but like metaphorically, just put in the work.
Exactly.
And if you put your focus on every single play, like if you're tunnel vision to the hoop, every single play, like, bro, I'm going to dunk. I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to make this. You're going to start to come back. And then if you get on defense mode with that, which means like you're really like combating it with extra shit, like this might be not sleeping, this might be throwing out some free work for promotion, this might be
exactly
any of these things. Now you're really going on go mode. So I just created a really nice system of how to like figure it out. So we'll fast forward a little bit. I ended up coming back out to LA, and week 1, I'm like, okay, I can't go broke. I can't, I'm in the back. What you said in the back of my head is still there. Like, I already knew that existed before, but like each step I take is going to be harder. If I don't make this shit harder, it's not going to be, even fun for me. Like, if we just look at it from a higher level, right? Like, say, like, I'm like a higher being looking at myself, and this is a game, and I'm in the Matrix. If I want to build a strong character, what would I do? I'm going to put him through all the tests possible. I'm not going to be like, just roam around. Like, no, he's not going to be ready for shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, you got to like you know what I'm saying? You got to put him through the shit. And that's why they say, I beat the level. I'm on 1100. I beat the game. And your character is all big and strong.
You feel like
and
you've gone through many challenges.
You've been through some shit.
Like, yeah.
So I just had to put it in that perspective and be like, okay, I got to bust down this work and I know what to do. So after I came back to Melrose and I'm looking for the same reality where it's so lit, it's so popping, everything's crazy. I'm like, okay, oh shit, it's dead. It's literally dead on Melrose, bro. Like, I don't know what happened. And that's what's so funny. Like, LA people tell me that, like, bro, you came here when it was a pop-up, or you came here when it was a Supreme drop. I just had 24 hours, so I didn't know.
You just thought it was how it always is.
I was like, this is how it always is. I'm about to get rich. So now funny. I got Yuri in the back of my head saying, like, bro, don't go homeless, don't go homeless, don't go homeless. And then I'm seeing it's dead, and I'm like, fuck, I just really just, I just did some shit. But I didn't let that, give me up. So what did I do? I'm like, I need to think of a marketing scheme. So, like, people know I have, like, marketing as well. I was like, I need to think of a marketing scheme. And they say, you what is it? Take your own medicine, take your own advice, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to get a shot of my own medicine. So I'm like, I need to figure out a marketing scheme. I have this camera, what I'm saying? I have my voice. I have my, energy. What can I do? So I'm like, I'm going to do dollar photos. You can't deny a dollar photo. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what can I do with the dollar photo? How are they going to get the photo? Fuck. Because someone else told me, like, bro, they're not how they going to get their picture. I'm like, no, my camera has Wi-Fi and I can actually send it right to my phone. They're like, okay, cool. Then you still got to text them or airdrop them. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to text them, have my number. Don't want to. I'm like, oh, I can just trade a follow for a follow. By the time you get a free, not a free photo, by the time you get a dollar photo, how do you get your photo? Shit, you send me $1 or you give me $1, which it was just like cash. You give me $1, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram. As soon as I see your follow, I'll follow you back and then I'll DM you your photo back. So I'm building a network now. I get an honest $1 and then I actually get to get my artwork out even more to people, and I'm discovering people.
You were doing this where? Like on Melrose?
Right on Melrose. So
wow.
I was like, I'm just going to use this as my playground. I only had to do that shit 2 times, bro. And like everybody who knows me to this day, like that's where like most of my customers came from.
What was the most amount of dollars you made?
Day 1, I made $150.
100?
Which is like, and it's fire. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was happy, bro.
How many hours did you put into it?
45 minutes to an hour. Swear to God.
I tried to do a fucking 1 cent to $100 stream the other day, and I got to $3 over like the period of 4 hours.
Wow. I swear to God. But see, like I said, energy though, like playing with the energy. I'll tell you like how it really, really happened. Damn. Like, if you remember my homie that used to be with me all the time, my nigga Tano Sunlight, he actually what he would do is he would film me on his iPhone as I'm talking to people, right? So I'm asking him, hey, would you want a $1 photo? I'll trade you a follow for the photo. I gain $1 as a local photographer. You get to help out the community, whatever the fuck. Like, they're going for it though. But like, they're like, sounds good, kid. But no. So he was walking behind me saying, all right, that's 29 no's. And the lady turned around and was like, 29 no's? What are you talking about? And he was like, 29 people just told this nigga no. And he's been walking up and down the street for like the last 10 minutes. Cause like, okay, I have to go back a little bit. Well, my only rule was like, if I'm going to like trust this, like trust the universe, trust everything, trust God, whatever y'all believe in, I'm like, I cannot exclude people. Cause like I come from, like I said, seeing both sides of the world, knowing sometimes the most talented kid may not have resources, knowing the most, like not everybody's like super vocal or like drippy and like all this shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to talk to like, whether it's like, somebody who looks like they're outcasted, a skater, a store owner, if it's an Insta model, if it's a like bad bitch,
everyone basically.
I'm not gonna be scared to talk to nobody.
Yeah,
that was the only rule. So that's why the numbers were so high. Cause I'm like, hey, you want a photo? Hey, you want a photo? Hey, and everybody just no. So when the lady heard that, she was like, wait, 29 people. She's like, honey, come here. She's like, here's $10.
Whoa.
And as she's like handing me $10, she's like, I just respect the marketing and I just love what you're doing. Just keep it up. Somebody's going to say yes. And as she's handing me the $10, a guy's walking by and was like, would you take photos? Because he seen me get the monies. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing dollar photos. This is the whole thing. And he's like, all right, bet. Take my photo. I'm like, all right, cool. So I take this guy's photo. Then another person's walking by like, oh, you do photos? And I'm like, yeah, I keep running the whole thing.
No way.
So pretty soon I'm on that corner with like there's the little leprechaun statue like right from No Jumper, like right across the street. And I have like 11 people around me. And it's like, I still remember all these people to this day. Like, even like, ironically, I'll get into like who one of them was too. It's like funny how this shit works. But I have like 11 people around me. And this one guy, his name is Miles. He had like 2 like white girls from like France with him, and it's like it was just crazy for me. I'm like, this nigga got like he kind of looking P, like he coming down the block with the bitch. I'm like, yeah, bro, I know. And like this is the thing, I'm playing to the character. I'm like, hey, bro, I know you need a photo, my nigga. Like you got the whole shit roll. Like let's get some shit rolling. He like, yeah, let's do it.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, bet, take a photo of him. Then like the next guy, like now it's looking lit because like people are thinking I got something like going on.
Did you already have this like personality or this like ability to not be scared to talk to random people?
This is where the name Turtle comes from, because like I have it in me, but you don't have to know it's there per se. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, I don't force anything. So why the fuck I'm becoming your shit, yelling and going crazy? But when it comes to my own art, getting my money or like figuring some shit out, bitch, I'm there. I know what to do.
You're not scared.
I have like I said, these kids saw me in 2nd grade stand on tables and tell my teachers, I'm gonna be richer than you. Y'all ain't on shit. What the fuck? God. Like I got this shit. I know what I'm doing. Like that's why Kanye has a quote. If you're a fan of Kanye West, you're not a fan of Kanye West. You're a fan of yourself. And that really is true, because it kind of gave me this boost of energy and ego at the time, which I learned how to tame. But it just made me believe in myself. So I have all these people around me, and it's like that's when the shit's going crazy. I probably got like $60 in my pocket at that point. So now that I had that shit and I knew it was rolling, I'm like, yeah, it's lit. So now I'm going up and down the block. I'm taking pictures of other people, and people are telling me who they are. They're like, bro, do you know who that is? I'm like, no. They're like, that's Joy Rich. He owns that store right there. This guy's like, I'm thinking it's just some random drippy Asian dude, because I'm saying I'm playing off that, like, my boy got the Gucci's on. Oh, yeah, he got let's go. And they like, okay, let's do it. So, like, these people are paying me to do it. I'm running into people who are like, like this one barber I run into. I'm like, tell him the same thing. And he's like looking at me like, yeah. Nah, I'm cool, bro. He like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Then he does it, and then he's like, I'm telling him like my like life story, like this is how quick I am to meet people. I'm like, yeah, bro, this is what I'm out here doing. I just came out here, and he like, yeah, who you be listening to? I'm like, shit, bro, I listen to anybody. X, Trippy, la da da. And then he just flips his arm, and it says 1400. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up. You're a fan too. He was like, no, I'm a part of 1400. He's like, Trippy, my blood cousin. And I'm like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah, bro, you should come to this party tonight. Yes, Jules is throwing a party. It's Trippy's album release.
That's a crazy story right there.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Then like, I'm like, perfect. So like, this is how I'm trying to tell people, like, just going out there, meeting people, not excluding people. Because I would have like, oh, this guy's at work. He's a barber. He's doing his thing. I then found out this is Playboy Cardi's barber. He's a celebrity barber. This is Trippie Redd's cousin. He's like cold as fuck at what he does, and he knows how to maneuver through the city. I'm like, all right, bet. Shout out to bro, my nigga Aaron Jamal. And to this day, you know what I'm saying, we still locked in. And like, then I once again go walk down the block. I run into another dude, and I'm like, hey bro, let me take a photo of you. You're looking real drippy. Got the chains out. You know what I'm saying? He had some females with him and some more shit. He like, I ain't gonna lie, Gerb. I really put you on, nigga. You come with me, I'll make you rich. This was Almighty Suspect. He like, I ain't gonna lie, I can put you on, nigga. You come take a photo of me, I damn near turn you up. I ain't gonna give you $1 though. I was like, damn, this guy's like low key. I wasn't even mad. I was like, this dude's lit as fuck. Like the way he believed in himself at that time.
Yeah.
I was like, And I feel like I knew who he was. I can't remember.
Was that the party?
Nah, this is on Melrose.
Oh, this is back on Melrose.
I'm running into like these people.
You ran into Almighty Suspect.
I promise you, he was coming right out the. I think it was a Sunday. He was coming right out the shit where they sell like all the like vintage fire clothes and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like he coming out of there, and he like just flipped the whole shit on his head. He was like, nigga, like, and that's when I realized like, oh, I can run into people who are low key kind of popping out here too. So like he just told me on some real shit. Like, I'm not finna pay you at all to take a photo of me. People pay me to take photos. Like he told, and I was like, okay, bet. And we didn't have to, like, he followed me. I mean, I don't know if he still do, but at the time he had followed me. We locked in. I sent him his photos. Matter of fact, let me see if these bitches still up here, because that would just be too legendary. Let me see.
That is so funny.
But, yeah, running into him, running into all these kind of people. Let me see if bro shit up here.
I'd be surprised if you still have it in your photo album. Oh, you're gonna check your DMs. That makes sense.
We're gonna,
okay,
because I DM'd the shit. This is how back in the day the shit was. This shit funny, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's all gone now. And this might even be a new Instagram or some shit. But
did the 1400 guy like lead to anything else? Like,
yeah, bro. Like, I ended up going to the Trippie Redd party, the album release party. I met a few owners of a couple of big blogs doing the same thing, just talking to everybody. And so I'm there with, at Yes Jules Mansion, and my heart dropped because like I put up to this fat ass crib. By the way, this motherfucker rich. Like, I don't know if people know, but yes, you know who Yes Jules is?
Yeah.
Yeah, rich, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. She got some shit going on. And that's what I'm saying. Like, at early LA days, like, all this shit's, like, mind-blowing to me. Like, these days, I wouldn't even give a fuck. I wouldn't care. But, like, those days, I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So I pull up to the crib.
Yes, Jules is, like, the Miami person.
Yeah,
girl, right?
She got her shit. But she was, like, low-key, like, moving shit out here at first.
I remember her interview with Adam a long time ago.
Yeah. So I go to her crib, and I, like, go to the door, and there's, like, a bunch of security in the long-ass line. And I'm like, hey, I'm here to, like, shoot the event. And security's like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, you're not shooting nothing. Like, we already got production back there. Like, you're not doing nothing. So I call AJ, and he's like, bro, he's like, show him this text of what this says. I tell him who you're with. I show him the text, and the dude just, like, opens the door, lets me in, doesn't search me, anything.
Whoa.
And I was like, wow, that's really, like, I was, like, mind-blown type shit. And, like, that's the role AJ played for me in my, like, early on days. He would get me in every event, like, had me shoot, like, the first, like, I shot YNW Melly because of him, Trippie Redd because of him. Like, initially met, like, a Chris Long through him. Initially saw, like, all these artists, like, just it was, like, really cool, just, like, a period of time.
Were you guys was he doing this, like, to be a friend, or did you guys have, like, some business partnership?
He saw the hustle I had on Melrose and knew, which now I understand too, because, like, it's not something you see every day. Like, when you see certain kinds of people and certain kind of energies, like I saw with you, I'm like, okay, potential. You can see where people are gonna go. So he just saw the potential, and it cost him nothing. Like, there'd be events, like, I remember so many events, like, where I'm seeing, like, you know, like Lil Candy Painter, like, you know, Queen Bobby Pin doing all this shit. I'm seeing all these people I know, and I'm like, oh, these are those people, but I can't get past, like, the red rope to get in. And he'll just be like, oh, that's my people's. Let him in, let him in.
That's
he'll just,
fire.
and I'm like, thank you, bro. Like, and I'll get in, and I'll get, like, my first photos with, like, a D Savage, or my first photos with whoever it may be. And I'm like, all right, this is so cool. Like, thank you, bro. You know, and
that honestly shows that, like, you know, your hustle and, like, your ability to kind of solve your own issues and, like, teach yourself things is, like, that really drove you to the success point that you're at right now.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like another one of it is, like, the thing that I feel like a lot of people ignore nowadays during the internet. You know, now that we're in these, like, in this internet world where everyone thinks that you can do all this promo online and do all this stuff online, where you got all these things through just talking to people on Melrose, which is, like, you know, a lot of people might be a little bit fearful of doing that, but
that's why I said niggas be too pussy, bro. But like, really look at it like this, so we can get on some other shit. I'll just be real with you. You know what I'm saying? My family's coming from nothing, bro. Niggas is broke, bro. I just got word recently, like, my mom has a terminal illness. Like, y'all think I'm gonna turn down? Nah, it's good, because it's like, that's my biggest fan. Like I told you, she got everything I've ever created to this day. She can. That's the motherfucker who can tell you, like, yo, this nigga not playing, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I say my mama a G, she not, like, no corporate. Like, she is. Like, she did insurance. She knows how to talk to you, sell some shit. But, like, in the inside of her, she's a creative. She's an artist. She been on all that. Like, her dream was to go, like, to Juilliard and become an actor.
Oh, so, really?
Like, me doing what I was doing, she's like, I'm in full support. You know, I'm showing all my art to my mom. And she's like, even more than, like, my dad, I would say at those times, because my dad was more or less like a hustler. And he would show me how to get the money, but my mom would show me how to make the art. So, like, even, like, I'm saying, like, this gives you context to, like, I'm not going to give up. Like, I know how to, like, put myself in that position and then really, like, get something done, because, like, I don't really have time to, like, fuck around. And that's what I'm saying with people. When I say, like, they're too pussy, I'm saying, like, you have to know, find that thing in your heart that you really care about. Find that thing that really bothers you. You're so broke, or you're so tired of, you know, being broke, or being homeless, or being on the verge of losing your job. Whatever it is, that should be your inspiration. Stop looking for more inspiration. It's right the fuck there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even you, when you were living with your parents, like, I'm not even saying, like, that was a bad thing for you, but I'm sure there was something in you that was like, I gotta come up. I gotta get bigger. I gotta get better. My shit has to grow. And you don't, like, what people have to know, you don't even have to think about the numbers or anything like that. Just like I said, make every point. Because when you make every point, now your shit's going harder. Your shit's going harder.
Exactly. I noticed that as well. But also, I was gonna say, it's kind of cool how, like, both of your parents, I feel like, have been pretty supportive with your entrepreneurial, like, things, where it doesn't sound like they were ever confused or, like, going like, yo, what are you doing? Like, internet stuff,
it sounds
like,
good. I think I'm just being a little too nice then. So what really happened was, in high school, when I was, like I said, I was failing every year. So they were supportive enough, but they're like, this is some bullshit, nigga. Like, you need to make some money. So when I started making money in production, they kind of fell back and was okay, you got it figured out a little bit, but they're like, still have a plan B. They're still on plan B mode, you know what I'm saying?
Finish school and shit like
so
that.
On 11th grade, I'm like, and I'm already moving schools. I'm in an alternative school at this point, like, on university in St. Paul, which is, like, where all the kids who are, like, getting in, like, all the worst trouble are going, you know, like, kids who, like, this is their last straw. So I'm in there with them, but these are, like, low-key the homies and shit. I have to take 2 buses, city buses, to get to the actual school. It takes me, like, an hour and a half to get to school. I'm in the snow. I'm seeing, like, nigga, crackheads and homeless people, like, it's like not good. Like, I have to go through like the downtowns, and people can imagine even out here, it's like the equivalent. Your downtown is where your like social security buildings and like these kind of things are at. So it's like this is where like government assistance and all that shit's at. So like I should be taking a school bus to school, but it's like my fault, nobody else's. So I'm catching a goddamn city bus to school and shit. And it's like even in those times, I'm like, I got to get up out of here. So I had to do that for the family. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get my GED, which is like their request. Like I literally slept through my GED test and passed. Like they say you have to have like 430 to pass it. I had like 431. Like I just fucking scraped by. But my mom spent like 300 on it because you have to pay to take the test. And give them time.
Damn, I didn't know that.
So like, she already spent the bread on it. Like I had to do it, but like I remember even like this how like non-driven I was to be there. I just like fell asleep, and this dude had walked by. Shout out to this guy, whoever he is. He like woke me up, like he one of the teachers, and he was like, "Look, kid, you don't get your fucking life together, you're gonna end up dead or in jail." He's thinking I'm like some like he's thinking I'm because like everybody who's in here is like really like, and I'm like, bro, I'm not even, I'm really thinking in my head like, nigga, no, bro, I'm finna go make some beats and make some money. Y'all are annoying, but like I understood it because I was like, okay, you're right, So I just started filling shit out randomly, like, bro, I swear to God, like something guided me to the answers. I was not answering like it's a Scantron. I'm just like just trying my best.
Just some random bubbles.
Yeah, some things you had to write out, and I know how to speak, so I can at least do that.
Yeah.
But like I just passed, So by the time I had did that, I had like a whole argument with my parents before I had split with them type shit, because like I was like, y'all don't believe in me. Like I said, when I say like two pussies, sometimes you believing in somebody still isn't enough. You could be like, bro, I know you can do it, but like maybe you shouldn't start that stream, or I know you can do it, but maybe you shouldn't go out all these nights and go dangle yourself over buildings that are all this so high. Like, cause like the belief can only go so far for people when they're not in your head. So like what I used to tell people, even about like the dollar photo stuff, when I first told the first few people, hey, I'm gonna do this in my marketing scheme, they're like, don't do that. That's stupid. Sounds bad. Everybody's gonna tell you no. You're gonna be embarrassed. And I was like, but everybody's not me. Like
exactly.
Y'all might not be able to do it, but I can do it.
And it's hard to, but like you really have to find people that you kind of like vibe with and agree with. Where it's like it's kind of a negative thing on you. That was also one of the reasons where like my mom was, like you were saying, she was like supportive, telling me like, you'll figure it out, blah blah. But at the same time, she was also like, oh, I don't know, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're just taking shots, like, in the bedroom for $1.
Your shit's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you tell your mom, like, yo, I'm about to go get my hair cut blindly, like, she's probably like, nigga, what?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, this is just, like I said, the belief can only go so far.
At a certain point, you have to, like, kind of take people's disagreements and be like, all right, whatever, I'm still gonna do my own thing. But if you're just surrounded by all those disagreements and that negativity, it does, like, kind of slow you down or get to you. And that's why, like, I was kind of thinking that. I was like, dude, I want to get out of here and fucking get my own little place where I can just create my own vibe of things that I can feed on, what I mean? Like, see it too, and shit like that.
But see, like that right there too. So with people, just to give a little bit of advice, because like I ain't gonna lie, they be in my DMs all day. So like I like to just tell people shit. Right there where he just said he had a goal. He had something in his head where he had like this scenario. It's like a toxicity of people. This is what we do, right? Man, if I had $1 million, I would do this, this, and this. And then, like, you'll get, like, this big check, and then you're like, maybe I don't want to give my cousin that money. Maybe I'm not about to go do,
Yeah.
What you did was you set a goal. That's how you really get shit done in life, and that's the same thing about me. Once I set a goal and my mindset to it, I'm going to get it done. So, like, a lot of the times, you could have got this spot, put some other shit in here and kicked up and be like, you know what, maybe I don't need a stream. I already got some shit rolling, and maybe I'll just do, not do it, and I kick back and chill. But like that's like actually super toxic with humans, because like by the time you do that and you don't do what you say you're gonna do, like people who even believe in like manifesting, why the fuck are you gonna ask the universe or ask God for some shit and you don't even live up on your word? That's
exactly.
That's like you making that same promise, like, if you guys give me this space, I promise you I'm gonna do this, this, and this with it. You gotta actually follow through with that shit. So that's another big difference between people and me and you versus others. It's like once you set a goal and you can actually like accomplish it, you don't gotta worry about nothing else, because like you just know who you are, and like if I had these tools, you know what I'm saying, I could do this.
Exactly.
And it's like I'm just that kind of person, that's why I'm super okay with giving some free work or like showing people my shit, because it's like I understand 90% of the time people are on bullshit when they say that, but I'm just actually one of those people. Even right now, I'll tell y'all, like, y'all give me the right amount of money to do this, that, and the third, I can really get it done, no issue. And that's just all it is, having goals.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I do. There's technically 5 of us.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Are you close with them at all?
Fuck all them niggas.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just playing. Shout out my family though. I love my whole family. Everybody lit.
How do they feel about like your journey? Were they like a part of it in any way?
Yeah. So Really, me and my sister are the youngest. My dad had his first kid when he was 13.
Oh,
so
shit, wow.
My oldest brother is like, he's super like, but he's like one of my biggest supporters 13? As well. Yeah, shout out my brother David. Everybody loves to see it, man. Like, now I got nephews who are, 20-something years old. That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Like, it's nephews, nieces, everything. Like, I had a whole family and everybody relying on me. Not relying on me, but I like to, look at it that way because it's the truth. Like, I knew when I was like 16, 15, I could get a job and take care of myself. But like, if I really want to accomplish something greater than me, I'm gonna have to put in some work so I can like take care of the family.
Have you had a regular 9-to-5 job that wasn't
never
like
in my
creative?
Life. I'm
really?
happy you asked that. I've never worked a job in my life.
Why?
Ever. I just never had to.
You never,
like I said,
you were making
12,
beats already. Dude, I was not making $1,500 a month at 17
at 12
or 18.
years old. I wasn't making that. But it was like 13, 14, that's when I started making around $1,000 a month.
At 13, 14?
Yeah.
And what were you doing with this money?
Nothing, bro. That's just so dumb. I was just so dumb, bro. Like, so like, you gotta think about it like this too. And like, producers know what I'm talking about. You're getting like 30 here for at least, 40 here for at least, you know what I'm saying? Oh, someone spent 300 here on a beat. It's not like you're getting $1,000 at once. It's not like a label cashing you out.
You're like, oh, I can get like Subway today.
It's like, yeah, I'm good.
Like
I'm surviving. You know, mom's taking care of shit. I'm surviving. I'm having that shit, For a kid, it's like, it's enough,
I feel that.
And that's why I didn't have anything to show for it per se, but I did because I had like a following. But somebody went through and hacked my YouTube and got all my shit striked. They canceled my channel. They deleted all my videos. It was nowhere to be found.
The De Niro one?
Yeah. Oh. And it's like, that's why I literally lost that channel. People to this day still hit me up and buy beats from me and be like, bro, why'd you quit? Why'd you stop? I didn't. Like, somebody canceled my shit. And that's why I explained that to you. Me trying to get into the game now is way different than when I started.
To rebubble up that.
I'm super aware of that, So I had to kind of figure it out. That's when I moved to Texas, and now we're, 16, 17. I was like, okay, I got to get this production, but I'm not posting on YouTube because all that does is create a system of hate. It could have been somebody who literally wanted these beats and like, I'm just going to get this nigga canceled, take his shit and go up because that happened as well. That actually happened. That's what happened. Well, we'll get into that too. We'll get into that as well. But it's a story about, No Jumper and Adam with the production placement that happened with something similar. But so I head to Texas and I'm like, all right, I need to start sending these beats out to artists. And the first people I sent beats to was this guy named ESG of SUC, which is Screwed Up Click.
Shout
SUC
out crew.
Yeah, 100%. As people know, they created like Screwed Up music for Houston and shit. And then I hit up Beat King, which is another artist who like got really big national success last year with his song, what's this shit called? Then Leave. It's called Then Leave. So if you go look that up, you'll see that's Beat King. That's my big homie type shit. He really put me in the game in production. So like he basically, ESG would like take me around the city and introduce me to all these big artists. And then with Beat King, I'll produce like a song with him. And he'll like bring it to radio. I'm having shit on radio now. Whoa. I'm having like Lil Yachty repost it and like Show Love or whoever, like just bigger people. I'm hearing my beats on the radio now. I'm going outside and hearing my music everywhere. This guy's like huge in Houston. This is before he even got like national success. He was huge in Houston and he was like taking over the clubs. So I produced like a really like weird beat for him. It was like kind of like melodic and shit. And he just showed me like the system, like this how you push a record. Like he was going to get like 10,000 every night from a club and he would go do 3 shows a weekend. So he's bringing in like a 30 piece every weekend. I'm going to these strip clubs with him. I'm seeing how the crowds work.
At 17, 18?
Yeah, for sure. I'm traveling with him, seeing everything, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he like at the time we're still hiring people to do videos. We're going to radio stations. He's bringing me up to Sway in the morning, whatever. Like I'm just going around doing my runs, learning. Same thing with ESG. He's like, anybody you want to meet in the city, I'm OG. Like, they going to hit me up, because these niggas created Screw, Yeah. He's the number one artist who's been on all DJ Screw's tape. Like, this is like his homie. Like,
bro, that's a crazy-ass experience right there. And honestly, that also shows, like, what you were talking about earlier. I was going to say it's, like, with all the work ethic and all that stuff, is, like, sometimes you got to, shoot for the moon and you might hit like the stars is like what they say. It's like you have this like one crazy goal, but if you really focus on that goal and you're actually like driven and all that stuff. And also what's interesting is like, dude, there's a lot of jobs that you don't even know exist. That's something also I was realizing is like when I first went to Melrose, I knew, what YouTuber, like just the casual normal jobs we all know about. But then as I started learning about like the music industry and all this stuff, you start learning all these different little jobs that people have where they're technically creatives at the end of the day, supporting 100%. Themselves, not working, a normal 9-to-5 job, but they're being like an A&R or they're like linking people. That's just what they do. They link people.
That's
it's
a
like,
big bag
you know
right
what
there.
I mean?
You get a finder's fee.
That's what I'm saying.
You put an artist with another artist, they make a hit, you damn near get 20%, Like this is the kind of things people have to think about. That's why I just never limited myself to one. But yeah,
and sometimes you won't even notice that these positions are available until you see
see
the doors open right there. You're like, oh, if I just do this, I get to make some money, you know, like every month or whatever. Like, all right, let me just do this now. I guess that's my job now. I'm this guy.
And that's what's so cool about it. And like even like people like you know, put me onto that. Like if you're streaming and shit like that, I might not have went into like streaming, but it's just more perspective. Like, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can upload vlogs, you can, you know, even if you're uploading a vlog, you just learn how to edit. Now, if you can edit vlogs, you can either edit your own vlogs, you can shop that around to other people. Hey, I know you're bigger than me, you got some content, I could probably put it together for you. They're
exactly,
gonna be like,
cool,
yeah, let's do it. So even with me doing production, when I was in those studios with like ESG, he would be like, hey, so many times any producer who's in the studio, y'all all know what I'm talking about, you're gonna hear, where's the engineer, who engineers? And they do not give a fuck. They just want to get their song done. Who engineers? So like I started engineering. Once I started engineering, it became another job for me, and that made me a lot of my money right there. But I was spending way too much time in the studio doing like 12-hour sessions and shit. But I got really cool experiences and got to link with a lot of really good artists. You know? And there's even times where I looked up and I was like recording like Bun B, a Houston legend, and I'm like, wow, like
that's crazy.
And like, you know, he even like, funny story with him, like he like walked in the studio and wrote his verse in like 5 minutes, but he came and sat down right next to me. Like I'm at the table, and I'm actually at Tree Sound Studios, which is the first studio ever built in the whole country.
Holy
it's the oldest studio, but it's legendary.
Damn,
like,
you have like a bunch of crazy ass history, dude.
I ain't gonna lie, my whole life legendary. But it's gonna keep rolling that way too. But like, so I'm at the first studio in history, bro, and I'm like looking at everything. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like I still have, this is the thing too about me. Everything I went through, I have footage of. Everything. I might not have posted it, but I have footage of everything. Cause like I'm low key building some shit with all this.
Like on some VHS
it's
thing
just like
or some shit?
Literally everything. VHS,
So you're gonna come out with like
whatever.
some Kanye-esque documentary
No,
soon?
dead
like
ass, bro. It's like the story's
years?
gonna be crazy. But like, yeah, so anyway, so I'm at the oldest studio, and like while I'm there, like George Clinton, the Parliament, like all these like crazy like artists, like you see plaques. Beyonce recorded here, the Lion King's recorded here, fucking whoever, like just whoever you could think of, Michael Jackson, like this is the first studio in the fucking country. Like everybody recorded there. So like I'm knowing it's legendary. They're like, yeah, you engineering today. I'm like, wow. So as I'm sitting there to engineer, Bun B sits down right next to me, and he starts writing his verse, but he doesn't say a word to me. He doesn't say a word to anybody in the whole studio. And this for the song with ESG, Southside Still Holding. Y'all can look it up to this day.
You have
it's
really good memories.
The remix.
It's kind of insane.
Man, I mean, like these moments you just don't forget. You know?
Yeah.
So like he sits down next to me. He sits back like this, bro. He's like, just writing this shit. Like takes like 5 minutes, really fast. Like with the work, like I'll give him that, like really fast. Goes into the studio. And he's like, you know, like, let's get it, you know. So I'm trying to record him. I set up everything. We run like a 1 take, 2 takes. He's like he's about to be done. Like he really fast at recording. But I'm trying to press the record button, but it's like glued in, stuck. Like I said, this is the first fucking studio in the country. This is not, so everything's soft.
Ancient.
Yeah, like there's software, which like, people don't, understand. Software is online, but hardware is physical. We could touch it, you can feel the hardware. So this shit is stuck in there. And he just says through the mic, he goes, you might want to press record. And I'm thinking like, bro, this is a legend. I'm fucking up. Like, this is why I say I understand what you be going through.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, fuck. And I want to get on his ass like, nigga, don't you think I know that? What the fuck? Like, are you dumb? Like, but I'm like, bro, I know you know. But I'm like, okay, I'm like, the button. But once again, no excuses. I'm just like trying to figure it out. Boom, it clicks through. He records his verse. He shakes my hand, introduces himself. He's out of there. I see him later for the video. Everything's straight.
That's
but, like,
so funny.
Even just like a story like that, I got to live experiences like that, which like A, teach me composure. B, teach me how to like, treat artists, understand the process. Now I know he wasn't being rude coming into the studio. He was just focused on the verse. Now I know he wasn't on bullshit by, you might want to record. The nigga probably has somewhere to go and some money to get. Y'all could look up to this day. Every nigga in Houston still lit, still rich. Like Bun B is a very big, prominent, piece of this culture, and he's still getting money to this day, and it's times not to be played with. So like,
the Texas music culture is insane. Like
it's just its own world.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like it's its own world, and they support each other so much that like a lot of the artists out there, people in California might never hear their names ever. But these fools are very successful.
Like, when I tell these stories to people, sometimes they be like, really? Like, you were at Paul Wall? He's popping? I'm like, you don't understand, bro. Like, y'all forget, like, Paul Wall was the one who made the grills with Johnny Dang.
Yeah.
And if every rapper has a fucking grill or a chain, who you think get the money for it? They having that shit. So
exactly.
These are the kind of people I'm around, and I'm seeing, like, those days, I'd be happy to go to a Paul Wall pop-up and take a photo of him. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Just because I was just a part of the culture. And when you see how they do the cars, they got the swingers and shit with the spokes out in the whip, candy paint cars, it's 30 of them coming down the street. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? So like at that same music video, this is the thing, all these pieces connect. When I was at the music video, a guy named D Greens, he shot the music video, and he put up the drone. He came with a whole production crew. In that moment, I'm seeing him do this, and I'm like, bro, I want to do music videos. Like, this is crazy. Like,
it didn't seem overwhelming and like scary. Like, oh, how the fuck is he doing all this shit?
It seemed exactly how the fuck. But like, we're at SUC Records, Screwed Up Click Records, and this were like Travis.
That is so legendary that you were like having this whole part in that crew. I fucking love
insane,
that whole Texas music thing. I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Go ahead, yeah.
You can keep going though.
For sure. So now this, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna kick with these niggas because it's weird. What y'all niggas saying in the chat? I can't even see that shit.
I know it's very small.
Yeah. But nah, this is how crazy it is too. Like, I'll be with ESG and he'll be like, yo, Trav about to pull up to the hood real quick. He gonna come grab some cars. And I'm like, who the fuck is Trav? And they're like, Travis Scott, nigga. I'm like, Trav? Like, what? And they're like, nigga, this SUC, like, they tapping with us. Like, and then so if you go watch the Way Back music video, all those old school cars with the candy paint and shit like that, like, I'm there as these niggas is pulling this shit off. So, like, I'm seeing production early on and knowing, like, and I'm also a big, like I said, I made Travis Scott, Drake, Kanye West type beats. So I'm like, bro, you know Travis? I'm mind blown. He's like, yeah, it's my little homie. Like, what?
What the fuck?
And it's like, he knows everybody. So, like, the kind of energy he had, he was like, bro, whoever you want to meet, let me know. And it's one of those things too, like, if you really have talent, people will help you. Like,
exactly. If you don't look like you're just asking for favors just for no reason, you know what I mean?
It's just like, nah,
you're actually gonna do something with it.
Yeah, let's do something.
You probably also had to learn, and this is probably something, you know, one of the reasons why like we became good friends or whatever it is like on Melrose, especially whenever people came around Adam, it's like I noticed this thing where sometimes this is the first celebrity or celebrity type person they've ever met in their life. And a lot of people act very strange and awkward, and sometimes they start asking for too many things, start throwing business proposals, and start doing all this strange shit. You're like, bro, I just met you. It's like I don't even know your name. You know what I mean? Like, where I feel like you've had to learn that from a young age, apparently, of like when you're around big old time celebrities, if you're a weirdo, they're never gonna want to meet you again.
It's over with.
If you're a normal person, they're just going to feel indifferent, or you might actually be cool, and then whatever it is. Well, you'd rather leave with them feeling indifferent about you than not liking you, you know?
It's real. I think what happens with people too, they get so nervous because they feel like this is my moment. Like, Adam, you don't realize I drove all the way. Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You drove from the moon, nigga. Like, I got something to do. I'm not worried about you. But if you have an energy where you can put it off where people know you're special, it will work. It will work.
Yeah.
But that does not mean run upon people and bother them. You know, it just means you have to have A, something to give, and B, you have to actually believe in yourself. With me, I never have to force anything because, like I said, I'm already knowing all the shit I got going on. I'm like, I'm not really worried about making this one person my thing. If I am worried about that, I have enough time and patience to let 10 years go by before they realize I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this is a good time to ask you this question. How did you end up linking up with Dub? Because it seems like you guys work a lot together.
That's my boy. I ain't gonna lie. I look up to Dub. I really do. Yeah, Desto Dub. I really look at this nigga like Kanye West, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that nigga, like,
super entrepreneur, super hustler. Like, he has a crazy work mentality. Like, he was like a tattoo artist for a long time, and then he got into doing a bunch of other things. Like, if you like pay attention to his, like, you know, journey from especially from what I've seen, I only saw like his
a lot of it. I see it.
I only seen his Melrose ages, but like, you know, the progression of what he's been doing, he's always had that super crazy hustler mentality. I'm down, dude.
Yeah, you got to come out.
But how did you guys link up?
So let me see. In those days, as I'm walking by, you know what I'm saying, seeing you, seeing Adam, seeing all these other people on Melrose, I'm seeing Dub out there, Pop Chunk, you know what I'm saying? This is before the van type shit. So I'm seeing him out there. That was one person, I'm gonna be real, where I didn't walk up on him though. I was like, this guy has some shit going on. He's way like too like good. Like, he has some, like, he's dope. Like, I was like, he's fire. Like, I don't want to bother this nigga. Same with like Adam. I never want to like step on territory. So like, I noticed it kind of has something going on. Which is why I never just like posted up outside of no jumper and did that. Because to me, it was like corny. I'm like, why would I go use another nigga clout when I could go create my own? That's why I said I'm going to talk to everybody. And I'm not going to use people who are coming from certain sources. Because it just won't make sense to me. So I'm already seeing Dub in those days. I DM him and I'm like, let's work. He's like, let's work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but
shit.
Like, there's a lot of like different pieces to these stories that I'm missing. We probably got to do this 4 times. But let me just give you a little context. So when I first came out here, when I was in Houston, that guy D Greens I was talking about, who shot the video for ESG, he actually, let's see, how does this connect? Because it's crazy. So yeah, I'm in Houston with him. He's shooting music videos. This guy named BLB was also in Houston shooting music videos.
Okay.
BLB is Young Thug's creative director. he was shooting a video for Maxo Cream and NFL Cartel Bo called Nothing Smoother Than a Hoover. Shout out T-Rail. He probably, fuck with that song if he heard it. But yeah, so what's crazy about that video, it's like a crazy like RICO case. A bunch of niggas got indicted or some crazy shit. Like a bunch of guns were found. And it's like a really, really big, crazy video to this day. But I pull up to like the trenches. And I'm like, this is my first music video set I'm ever going to be a part of.
Okay.
Like,
you're like helping with the process?
Yeah, so I was going to be helping it. But I pull up and I just see like a bunch of niggas outside on like a yard. And I'm like, yo, this is like, I don't need to be here type shit. So I text the director, BLB, and I'm like, yo, I'm not going to make it. Like, we'll have to do it another time. Like, I don't think it's like, because like my homie was dropping me off and he was like, bro, I'm not like, this ain't it. Like, because like, I'm not from there at the time. Like, I'm living in Houston and I'm already living like a different hood in Houston. I used to live on Bissonnette and Braeswood, which people who know what I'm talking about is crazy. There's literally like, bitches got their pussy out in fishnets and like, it's like fig fuck. Here. It's like, crack being sold, like a bunch of bloods, a bunch of like, it's crazy.
Jesus.
So like that's where I was coming from. I wasn't like scared of the shit. Yeah. I just didn't feel comfortable. I wasn't in my environment.
Well, it's not that you're scared. You knew. You're like, if I get dropped off right now,
I'm like, this is gonna be weird.
Yeah.
So I just told him like, I ain't gonna make it, whatever. So fast forward when I was at that trip with my homeboy and I had, saw LA and I came back. When I was in LA, I seen him post from an overview of LA and he was like, out in LA, let's work, whatever. And I was like, damn, he's in LA. Like, I have a chance to work with him now. Like, I've always wanted to work with this guy. So when I went to go work with him, the first music video we did, we're out on the beach. I shot like a really dope music video with him. I'm just helping and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, my uncle actually called me from jail. He had just murdered somebody. Ironically, this sounds crazy. He did it in self-defense. But
the successful uncle that you
were... No, different uncle.
Oh.
But he had like, and I'm like, yo, I'm on set right now, but like, can I please take this call? And he was like, no, like red flag, like you're about to get fired. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, no, it's my uncle. He's in jail. And he was like, okay, then that's the one. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Answer the call. So I answer. I'm talking to my uncle. He's like, how you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm literally like living my dream right now. But like, ironically, and I don't want to like flex on him. He's like,
did you feel bad like sharing that news a little bit? Like,
yeah, it's almost like survivor's guilt. But like, he was good. He was calling me to tell me like, bro, I'm about to get out. Like, like it was fucked up what happened to him. His own landlord got drunk, and they were like homies, like say like I'm renting from you, but I live above you type shit. His landlord got drunk with him, came down, ended up stabbing him. Like he like got in a fight and like stabbed this nigga, but he took the knife out his own body and then stabbed this nigga, and then they fought to the death, bro. So like he beat his ass out into the street and he died. RP that man. I don't know him, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no problem with him, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like laugh. It's not funny to his family. It's just crazy. I be like whatever. So then my uncle's in jail. He called me, telling me like, no, I'm getting out of self-defense. Like they like because they had to do a whole case and like they traced the blood, they traced the initial stab, they traced the weapon used. They realized that this man was just fighting for his life. Like that's all it was. Like he didn't like not a murderer. He just was fighting for his life.
That is an insane story, dude.
And he, you know what I'm saying? We not going. So he ended up, having to go to jail, do some time. But he called. He was like, yo, I'm about to get out, whatever. I'm like, all right, that's amazing. He's an amazing painter, by the way. He's a really good artist. Okay. Another one of my inspirations.
You have a lot of talent and creativity in your
family. All
of
them. Like, my aunt is a famous book writer. Like, my dad's a hustler. Like, my uncle's, like, into music. Everybody does something.
That's so cool.
Like, that's why I'm like, get a job. Like, we don't know about that. We only know how to hustle. Like, I know how to make money off my art.
I'm jealous, bro. That's so, like, I come from such, a classic work mentality of just, like, you get an office job or you get a construction or, like, a hard working job. But the whole idea of being a creative was so foreign, but it sounds like in your family it's so well accepted.
It's so well accepted, but it was given up on early. So imagine like you understand it, but you still work a job, but you see somebody else who has it in them. You're like low key praying and works out for them so they don't get crushed like you did. You're like, like that dad, like I was almost in the league until my ankle got hurt. It's like a lot of those. So
I feel that.
I'm like the nigga like making sure like no injuries, like we gonna make it. Even if I got an injury, bitch, I'm a coach. Even if I'm not a coach, bitch, I'm finna be an analysis. Even if I'm not analysis, I'm just gonna get my foot in.
You'll find something to do in that creative space.
So so I take the phone call and I get off the phone, and then the other director had walked up, and this dude named the name is Double X AJ, and he was another director working on set with BLB. And I'm like, where you about to go, bro? Like, end of the night. He's like, shit, I'm about to go work with this guy named Desto Dub. So that's initially like how I'm like, okay, so you're his director. All right, but I'm texting him trying to blow him up, but he not really like, budging too much, but it just probably out of loyalty for bro. You know what I'm saying? And he was shooting all his videos and doing his content. And this is like before Dub was like the Dub y'all know today, but he was definitely still that nigga. Like everybody knew it. So, I'm like, okay, cool. So AJ got some shit rolling with him. That's fire. So I'm following AJ. I'm seeing what's going on, but I'm still like trying to get in the mix with Dub, but it just never quite worked out. But just throughout the years, everybody working and everybody doing what they had to do. Just that same guy, D Green's like he played a major, role in all this shit because Fast forward years later, the guy I met, Trippie Redd's cousin, I'm at his house. I'm kicking it. I'm working on videos for Thug at the time. I'm doing.
I wanted to bring that up as well.
Yeah, it's so messy. They're gonna hate me, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to like.
I know what you're talking about because I remember I think it was during the Sharp interview that I did, or like there was a couple times where people were asking me questions, and then you're like, you never even think about it. You're like, what is the chronological order of how things just occurred?
It's so hard to like pinpoint it, but I just remember like key moments and shit. But yeah, so I would watch AJ and Dub do their thing, and then
so basically you guys like link through that whole series of
we linked
weird
through
series
other
of
directors. That's all. And then so D Green's, ironically, the same guy who this is so crazy. The guy B.O.B. who I was working for hired on D Green's before he ever hired me. He had him shooting for Nipsey. So B.O.B. he's most known for working with Gucci Mane, Birdman, Nipsey, Young Thug.
Wow.
Like these are his like early days artists, bro. Like if you go look it up, he did 2 billion views. Like all these people.
Holy shit.
So like the person I learned from is super seasoned. Like he's like the GOAT. Like even if you don't know him on a face value, you go back and play all these videos, Halftime, Power. Anything you could play that's all these like legendary videos.
Is there ever like a competitive aspect to like the whole production side of the world where like people are like, we don't need another music video guy in LA?
We're gonna get into that shit show. So anyways, I'm learning from bro, you know what I'm saying, and he put me on to D Greens because D Greens used to work for him. So I'm seeing. So keep in mind, AJ and D Greens, 2 people that him and Dub share, B.O.B. and Dub. So I'm just the third like nigga on the outside type shit. I'm like, this is crazy because I already met bro way in Houston, then I met the other nigga way here in LA.
Yeah, that's
side by side with these people. So then
like 2 different worlds meet, basically.
2 different worlds meet. And to this day, I don't think BL and Dub even know each other. And they're super like both close to Thug, both like it's just crazy. But like once again, I don't force shit. Just let everybody.
What is your relationship with Dub now? Though, is like what do you guys do together?
So before I get to that,
okay,
I just gotta give credit to where it's due.
Oh yeah.
So D Greens called me one day and he was like, "Yo," because I was working with TSF in Houston, Peso, and like the whole shit like that. So he called me when I was in LA, like, "Yo, Peso's coming to LA. You should do a video for him. You should like, let's connect some shit. I think you need a location." I'm like, I got this helicopter pad because I'm with Trippie Redd's cousin, and he stayed at these apartments where they had a whole helicopter on the roof. And I was like, we gonna shoot at the helicopter pad.
The casualness of a lot of your stories are insane. Like, oh yeah, the helicopter pad.
Yeah, so I'm like, we gonna shoot at the helicopter pad. That'd be so raw. So Peso ended up saying like, nah, y'all should just come to the studio. So I actually had my boy T Glaze, and I'm like, T, you should shoot the video. You know what I'm saying? You should like, do the whole video. I think you're better off. You have better equipment than me and everything.
Yeah.
I met T Glaze through AJ's Trippie's cousin. Everybody just, like I said, that 2 days on Melrose trickled all the success. So like, if you believe in yourself, follow your heart, it will happen. So
and you were hustling like crazy, taking photos and all that shit. That's insane, dude.
It's legendary. So long story short, T Glaze ended up working for Desto Dub before I did. But keep in mind, so did D Greens. He worked for Desto. So did AJ. Worked for Desto. So I already knew he had a bunch of directors, but now at this point, all these niggas is my homies, and me and T are getting money together. You know what I'm saying? We traveling together, we doing shit. But now I'm back in this house, and T just happened to be staying with AJ, which is like they knew each other, and it was just so crazy because it was like a timing thing. And like when I met T Glaze, he was like, "What's up with you, bro? Where like who you be working with?" I'm like, "Shit, I just did some shit with Soulja Boy. I was at the studio with him." He's like, "Oh, I was just at the studio with him." I'm like, "Oh, that's dope." He's like, "What about this artist?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just did something with him." He's like, "I just did something with him." I'm like, "Bro, we might as well just lock in." Just became,
Yeah.
So we did. We became like a duo, not like per se like a group, but we just kept working with each other.
Sick.
And he started working with Dub real heavy. And he actually reintroduced me to the whole like cough syrup universe, because like it was like basically like Dub was trying to travel to Coachella and he was throwing like this whole festival, and like I ain't never seen no nigga do no shit like this. Like imagine somebody getting like a mansion and then like an acre of land and then putting like 20 vendors and then bringing out every foreign car.
How long ago was that? Like a year or two ago?
It's like probably like a year and a half now. Or
yeah, I remember I saw that shit. He threw his own Coachella basically.
He threw his own Coachella, and it's just inspirational because like you could probably pay Coachella to get a booth or some shit. He probably could have even got one free there, but he wanted to do something for the people, and he really did. He opened the whole shit to the whole everybody, and it was lit. Like
that shit looked huge.
It was so many people in there, and it was so cool, and it was just I ain't never seen no shit like it. So that weekend, I created 13 pieces of content for him. I would literally shoot like how like I would shoot right away, and I would go to my computer while I'm at the event, and I would edit up little 30-second clips, Instagram stories, videos instantly.
Whoa.
So I was just literally the fastest turtle in the world. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get these content, and I would just stand next to Dub. I'd be like, yo, you got your AirDrop on? He'd be like, yeah. I'll just send it to him, and instantly, without even like watching it, he would just post.
No way.
And then like more people start showing up because you're seeing these videos. It looks so lit, and it's filmed vertically, so like you're low key missing a lot of information, but that's good because it looks even more like compact. And,
exactly.
Like, it looked good. So I'm just dropping all this content with him, and like we basically just got locked in. Shout out to Nairi Nate, which is like the general manager of Cough Syrup. She called me back in, and she was like, yo, like, we want to hire you, like we want to bring you in and like make you an official part of the team. And I'm like, that's fire. And at the time, T Glaze was actually like transitioning out of LA, so like he basically like got me the job, swapped me in, and I you know, kind of like tag teamed it in.
Oh wow.
And then ever since that day, me and Dub been locked in every day. Like, you know, like I'll probably pull up on him after this. Like
mostly just like video content is like what you're doing and shit?
So video content, you know, cover arts, edits. I first, and like, I guess before that, let me track back a little bit. I was really doing VFX for Dub, so I'm tripping. Like, that's what I'm saying. The timeline be kind of off.
Yeah.
I was working for Dub a whole year before I met him. I was just like down the street, like legit, like kind of like even how like when I was like producing for No Jumper, like I wasn't like in the office per se, but I was just like sending beats out to you, and then I might be in Florida, I might be wherever. It's kind of like the situation I had with Dub. Like I wasn't physically there, so. Once I started getting physically there, I'm like, yeah, I've been doing all your videos, nigga. Like, I be editing your shit. I be throwing effects, and, like, people love the effects. Like, he had me doing shit, like, for Draco tributes, for, like, you know, cool effects, like for his music videos, for the recaps. I'm just being a part of the shit, but just not in it yet. So when he brought me in, I was already acclimated to the whole shit, knew what to do, knew how to do it. So then I started working with him, and we just been locked in, like, ever since. So I've been doing, you know, from flyers. He even had me doing a couple clothing designs. It's pretty cool. Like anything I can do creatively, he's been one of the first people to support and understand, hey, you know, he can do this, and he gives me the opportunity to do so.
That's fine.
And now he made me head of media. So like,
whoa,
on an average day at a pop-up in Melrose, you'll see like 5 to 10, 15 cameramen around me, all listening to me. And I'm like, this what I need you to do. You're going to do VHS. You're going to do photos. You're going to run the whole play. I need you at a high angle. I need you to stay back and make sure, you know.
That's so sick, put it all together. What the fuck?
And it's like, I, you know, really obviously worked my way up from doing VFX to doing just recaps to doing his actual music videos to doing designs. So now I know how to do all the jobs. So as soon as they come to work for me, I'm like, all right, I know what it takes, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it in you, I can tell as well. Day one, where I like was head of media, we had a big pop-up. It was with Pump, and I was like, this is what we gonna do. I need like all these people to pull up, and they were like, hire on like 2 people with you. And I was like, all right, cool. But you know, I'm head of media, so I'm like, what? I'm finna run it my way. So just like with my marketing schemes, I created my own marketing scheme. I'm like, Dub, I just need you to post to have everybody DM me if they want to help. When he did that, I got like 200 DMs. I got those same DMs from kids like me. Bro, I live in Idaho. I'm about to quit my job right now. I'm going to fly down there. I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, I swear to God, I only need you for 2 hours. Like, no.
Yeah, don't leave your
like, don't do it, bro.
life at home
and
just to come and do a 2-hour video.
And so I saw those kids, and I realized how off-putting that was. And it's like, this is what I'm saying. I'm seeing different perspectives and being on different sides of this shit. So I'm like, okay, don't do that. Don't talk to people like that. Don't scare people away from you. Like, if you're really dope, you can be patient. And it may be hard. It really might be, but you got to know what's for you and what not to force.
Yeah.
So day one, I'm out there, and like literally like 20 kids show up. Like it's like a lot of kids, like a bunch of cameramen. And these niggas got bigger cameras, better like not just better than me, but like better than I ever started with.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I realized that some of these people have really good equipment, bro, but they don't have like customer base. They don't even have like, the passion to connect the customers, to know how to get the money, all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all here to work with me? And they're like, yeah, like we want to work with, you know? So I'm like, all right, bet. And then like 3 minutes later, like one of them finds herself to kind of be the leader of the group, which is like cool, because like I want y'all to be able to work while I'm not here. I want y'all to be able to like take on these tasks like I would if I'm not here. So I'm like, whatever, you know, y'all get acclimated. Like I force people to be friends. Like, hey bro, you gonna work with him? You got a car? You got the best camera? Okay, you gonna pick up him because he don't got the shit. He don't have a car. Like y'all gonna connect with each other. That's crazy, dude. You know, so I connect everybody together, make sure everybody cool. And then like one of them's like, hey yo, Turtle. I'm like, I come from the back of the store. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, we about to go to the liquor store. And I'm like, all right, for sure. See y'all in a little bit. I'm turning around thinking in my head like, they're fired. Like instantly, like you fight. That's why I said everybody's hired. Like they wanted me to bring 3 kids, but I was like, no, I'm responding to every DM and everybody can pull up because I'm super aware.
Yeah.
I can't go through your Instagram and just like with me at the time, I might have had a little bitch ass like Sony camera, which isn't good for music videos or all this stuff. But it wasn't to put a cap on me. It's like I said, product of my environment. It's all I had financially.
What if you had someone pull up with like 2 backwards, backward in each ear?
I wouldn't have gave a fuck. I ain't gonna lie. But even that, it's like, nah, you kind of have to know what to do and how to do it. If you pull up 2 backwards in the ear, that's kind of already your system. That's how you be doing it. I'm guessing that's what you do. But if you say we're going to the liquor store and you're grouping people up, I'm like, y'all realize if the artist gets here and y'all are gone,
exactly,
this is the whole point. But this is like, that's why I hired everybody on. I'm letting you fire yourself. That's my marketing scheme with this.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, bring. This is what you're gonna need. I'm gonna pay you this much. No, I'm not paying you shit. Let's see how much you want to be here. So, you know what I'm saying. And then eventually you might get crazy. That. So they all, waddled their ways down to the liquor store and shit, and only like 3 stayed. So the artist pulls up, and those 3 came to the back, got their wristbands, got in the event, and the other ones are like waving outside, like, "What about us?" And I'm like, "Oh, y'all thought it was sweet? Like I was one of them niggas finna just let you go to the liquor store, get drunk as fuck? No, nigga, like you're at your job, bro. Like." So I was like, nah, like, and I have to be that way. If I'm a boss too, like, I can't be like, oh, it's okay, guys. Yeah, sure. I don't care if you, nah, nigga, like, because if you get drunk and you don't turn this shit as fast as I do, I'm on your ass. I'm way faster than all you niggas. So no, I'm not finna play with y'all. So you know what I'm saying? Crazy. They basically fired themselves, and to this moment, they probably just learned here if they're watching.
You sound like a crazy boss.
100%. Like you got, bro. I've already been direct. Like I said, that director I was with, BLB. Yeah. He's insane. He's on on set.
You don't have time to play around.
Sweating.
Exactly. Yeah.
And bro, when I run these sets with him, we did a set for Gunna, an artist named Paris through the label 300. And like you got the head executive of the label here, you got all these people around. Video budget's $40,000. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna want to be nice to a fucking model who's talking on set after you have $40,000 invested. You're just not, And like I'm starting to realize it's like, oh shit, you can't fuck around. And even with Dub, like he's running a really big multi-million-dollar business, and he takes it very seriously, and he doesn't need any of us. Like if I'm being real, that nigga shoot his own content. He been doing it all himself. So like me, it's like a help. So you have to kind of give people context. Like, yo, bro. In this world, in LA especially, you're not any better than the next man. It's just who can outwork the next man, who has more drive than the next man, and who actually has the talent, and the people want that. And if people don't want it, it's already over with. So that's why I kind of just, did the system how I did, and how me and Dub work, it just works out that well. Like he knows, I know how he works, and he knows how I work, and we just stay locked in. We just did an event, with French Montana, and the whole shit went great.
Jeez. That's a good way to think about it, because I feel like, a lot of people could fall under this mentality of like, oh, if these things happen, or if I get to this success point, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I'm chilling or whatever. But then, like you said, like you started off on Melrose taking dollar photos. Now you're at this point where you're on Melrose directing 5-6 people, man, and you still have that same thing where you're like, I can't fucking like even be playing around because I'm still trying to get to another level that I'm not at right now.
And that's what's so funny too. Like the ceiling will always move. Like the goalposts will always move. But that's a good thing,
Exactly.
Like, my favorite thing about LA is like all these same streets that I like once walked broke or once walked with no opportunities. Now I spin back and it's like so much better, so much easier. It's like I don't get left in no door no more. I'm not worried, like that's and crazy. Not even on no funny shit. Like it don't be my shit, but like just with Dub, like I'm riding around in Maybachs and I'm riding around and like I'm seeing like how he's living and what he's doing. Like he has me in meetings where I don't want to speak on his shit, but like big meetings. He's having me in big meetings, and I'm seeing like I've seen him turn down money that I would say yes to in a second. But he's so smart. He'd be like, nah, what's the points on the back end? He'd be like, wait, how much did we do with this? Oh, my sales just did this, and he got the the right people with him. You know what I'm saying exactly. Oh, we have our actual stats to what we're doing and how we do it. Yeah, we're not interested. I'm just like, what?
He's like a crazy businessman.
He's just so cold at it that they take that shit and then they'll go get right and they'll figure it out. And like, okay, we need to sometimes he'll even like, he did it one time with me where it just blew my mind, where he was like, I feel like doing some promos today. And I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna help some people out. And like, he just like, kind of gave me his phone and like, I help him like run some shit. And like, I'm talking to the people and shit. And I'm just seeing these people send him like these large amounts of money, which I'm not gonna say what it was.
Yeah.
But I can promise you it's bigger than I've ever seen anybody get paid for a repost.
Holy fuck.
Because he don't fuck around with his platform, so like you're not finna play with him,
No, yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, whoa. So like, even like being around him just helped me even get better at that. I'm never gonna be around somebody and not gain experience. I even told him like week 1 of like riding around with him and shit. I was like, yo, just so you know, I look at this like how a dentist looks at his or her job, like how they have like a 401k and they have health insurance, whatever the fuck. If I'm sitting in $1 million meetings, if I'm sitting in, you know, if I'm seeing how he does shit, run business, prints shit, sells it, travels, I'm like, I'm picking up because these are the benefits. That's what you're supposed to pay attention to, not just the dollar amount.
Exactly.
Like, shout out to him for, you know, paying me and everything too, but I learned so much more than I could ever put a dollar amount on.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, that's where like some of these kids I'm trying to put them onto. It's like, you can't just come into it like, oh, how much is he paying me? Because it's like, first of all, I don't even need you. Like, we're trying to be nice, basically, like type shit. Like, and it, like, I swear to God, it's more or less of like a me idea than it is a his idea. Because it's more like, okay, I look at shit like when I was working with labels and production, like, duh, we could do it like this. We can get several angles and we can get more people with, you know, photos and la-da-da. So I don't have to change my, and then like, all right, cool, let's do it. You just let me run it. So like, that's the kind of, you know, freedom he gives me and lets me grow through him. So it's pretty cool.
No, that's so far. Yeah, you guys have a really cool relationship. I want to ask you like one more question before we get towards the end of this podcast. Sure. But
long as fuck.
You did the music video Surf, right?
Yeah.
Or like you helped with it. Well, like what was exactly your role in the Young Thug music video Surf?
So for the Surf music video, me and my boy Blake, we did set design for Surf, behind the scenes, set the lighting.
Where was it?
Shot on, I don't even know how to say it, Hunumi Beach or some shit like
that. Is that around here?
Nah, it's like an hour out.
Oh, shit.
And like, Thug is so P, I ain't gonna lie. I'm happy, you know, a free Thug too, free Jeff. Like, this nigga, he was so Thug that him and Gunna are catching, you know, when like limes and scooters first came out and shit, they're like catching a scooter to this beach that's like an hour away. Like, they're on their story like, yeah, bitch, we on the way, and we like, nigga, we, like I said, these budgets are huge, bro. Like, this budget, I won't even say how much it was, but it was big, you know. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, they're tripping, you know. And I'm like, we're all scared because like the director, he's not phased. He's been working with Thug his whole life, but it's still like, okay, what the fuck? Like, they requested 2 trailers full of every piece you could find a designer. So the 2 trailers alone, I'll just say that 2 trailers alone probably like 20,000 in clothes. Just because like you like just imagine walking into like you see every new Off-White shoe, every new Palm Angels, every new everything. Like,
jeez.
And like shout out to the girl who was styling it, Anna. She went on to become like a really big stylist with Cole Bennett, you know, of course Thug, all these people.
Wow.
But like all of us, like, you know, early on days just saw each other grinding and shit. And we had to like even like just little shit like, okay, we need y'all to go to Target and get like these racks and hangers and shit for these clothes. And like they each wanted their own trailer. Like Thug and Gunna are like, you know, they're close obviously, especially at this time, but like, nigga, they each wanted their own trailers. So we had to have police on site trailers. We got ATVs. God. And like when I be telling people like I really do production, it's like sometimes like it's hard to believe because if you never handed me the money, why would you believe I can? And it's like, that's why this year I made a switch to start my own production company and start running all my productions by myself, because I was being too friendly and too nice with helping other people build their shit without getting my own. So when you asked earlier about like other people trying to gatekeep, 100%. I worked on some like the biggest projects in rap in history, you know, gratefully and like humbly, and sometimes I didn't even get credit. Sometimes I didn't even get paid. Sometimes I got left out of the conversation, which is even worse than not getting paid to me.
Then it's just like completely free work because you get like no type of intellectual knowledge, like, I guess.
It's free work, but it's not free work. So like the number one thing they're going to tell y'all, like, you come to LA, no one wants to help you. That's cap. Like when I first came to LA, bro, people gave me computers, gave me like opportunities, gave me shit. Like, of course I had talent, but like it was the opposite of what people told me. Like, they're gonna close the doors, they'll give me just enough to where I can't ask for more. And it's like a situation in which you don't want to kind of fuck your play up, you know. So like the guy I was working for, you know, like grateful, love him to this day, but like he gave me a computer, he gave me, you know, the camera I had at the time, and this is all the same shit he used to use for Thug. So like I have the camera in my hands that he shot like these legendary like stoner video, like like these big videos, like, and I'm like, this is like crazy. Even the computer, like, it was so crazy because the computer was in Thug's name. Like, I would see when I log in my computer, it was Young Thug. Like, it was like his, like, probably his computer he bought. And it didn't give a fuck about that he gave to him, that he gave to me.
Yeah.
So it's like these pieces are like, you know, legendary. Like, people would kill for this shit. If I would have put that shit on eBay, the contacts that were in there, the files that are in there, it's all Thug's unreleased, all his videos, all his. I'm just like, bro, this is like, that's the kind of inspiration I have. So I could be working on a random customer, but like, I'm literally touching something which I know is a part of history, you know?
Yeah.
But
trust is probably like a big part of like your business too, right? Where it's like you see a lot of behind the scenes shit, like you're saying, you see all these unreleased files potentially. You could post photos.
They used to
and
name
all this
Thug's
stuff.
file shit like Ice Cream Sunday, or like
to keep it low key,
like just in case a hacker got through and like looked for some shit. It would just be like, I probably shouldn't have said that either, but like they don't give a fuck. Now it is what it is, and free Thug. But like it's just another thing you could do, you know, just throw them off titles and shit like that.
Oh, that's so funny. I never heard of that.
Yeah, bro, but yeah, it's really cool. And
let me ask you this. So like, you know, you've reached to this crazy point of success. Like, you know, like to you, you're probably like wanting to do more and stuff like that. But
sure.
You've done so much since the last time I seen you. It's insane. And I'm really, really happy for you because it's just like I said, the first time I met you, you were like, bro, I want to do these, I want to do that.
No, for sure.
I don't even live here. I'm just visiting, but I'm gonna be back. All that stuff. And then now it looks like you were basically able to accomplish all the things you were telling me you wanted to do. What are your like goals from now on forward? Like, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? Like, take your production company more seriously?
I'm definitely starting. So the production company, like, is up. Like, the shit going crazy. Like, I'm already this year in, you know, probably shot like 5 videos this year, which is like pretty good. Like, I'm not forcing it. I'm not rushing it. They come at a price, of course. Like, these niggas are paying me $1,000, $1,500 each, so I'm not rushing it. And I understand, you know, you give me that much money, you know, to start. I you know, I'm fucking with you. So
yeah,
I'm still kind of like building it up. But I have like 4 videos posted on my Instagram right now. If they're watching this, SeaWorld.mp4, but C is spelled SEE. So I flipped it because obviously Turtle, SeaWorld, like it's the whole shit. So they go follow SeaWorld. They'll see like my YouTube and my Instagram is just starting to go up. But I actually like purposely did it because I already have 4,000 followers. A bunch of people from labels and artists and a bunch of verified accounts already follow me. But I wanted to get away from all of that because I really want true data. So like with my new Instagram, I started it because I want, if I have, you know, 30 comments, I want 30 likes. It's just not even about a million anything. I just want to make sure the actual interactions line up with the attention span. That's kind of where I've been headed with it, and it's getting a really, really good reaction right now. And people obviously know I stepped up my quality, I stepped up my cameras, I've upgraded everything. You know, I've upgraded my whole life. You know, so it's now transpired into the art, and people can see that, and it's been really cool to see them be receptive of that and like spend their money with me. Like even while we're here, like my shit won't stop. Like I have people trying to, you know, spend money with me right now.
I was gonna ask you. You seem like well, you know, through this whole conversation, you're like a really, really busy person. How do you find time?
This is hard for me to do.
How do you find time to unwind and like chill, and even do something like this?
Those middle hours of the night, like that's when I find my peace. So like from like 10 o'clock to 7 a.m., everybody else is asleep. Which is the irony in that is like, say like I work all night from 10 to 7 a.m., right? If you're an artist who just spent money with me, you're going to wake up at 8 a.m. like, yo, what's up, bro? You're lit. You just woke up. You're excited. But, nigga, I'm just going to sleep. So I'm not trying to answer your call at 7 a.m. So if y'all be calling me, like, don't do that shit. Because, like, and I can't just turn off my phone because I have someone like Dub who might call me and say, hey, we got to get this today.
Something really important.
You know? So I kind of have to, like, you know, figure out how to do it. But it's just been one of those things where I've just been adjusting and figuring out how. So I learned to upgrade my lifestyle. I used to live in Koreatown and had like a cool apartment. Definitely like picked a nice apartment and everything was straight. But it was like one of those things where like you can't find parking. So then you can't leave after like 5 o'clock. If you do, you got to park like damn near a mile away. Now you might have to pay, you know what I'm saying, the meter. And when you pay meters, if you do the math on a meter, LA every single day, you know, up until 6 o'clock, you're spending like $300 a month on parking. You might as well get a parking garage. So then I, you know, get the parking garage, but that's like $300-$400, you know what I'm saying? So then it's like the same shit. And then like this place doesn't have a washer and dryer. Like anybody who knows Koreatown, they know what I'm talking about. You could have a nice ass apartment, but it's not like all this shit's inside your shit. So like I had to like upgrade my lifestyle in order to like kind of like get myself right. So like I moved out to Glendale. You know, I got like a really good apartment. You got to come through one day. Like I'm still getting my shit set up.
It helps you be more productive, right? When you're able to do all these
like,
things, especially not worry about parking.
I got a garage. I got the washer and dryer. I got the like island kitchen. Like my apartment is like $3,400 a month. So like I definitely like, you know, I definitely be charging for a reason. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't playing with them, but yeah, that's how I kind of wind down because now I have like all the amenities I want. I got the gym. I got the sky deck. I got the whole shit. I can like sit and relax and not just irritate everybody in my building. They're like, this nigga playing loud music, and he like I get noise complaints and shit all the time, but they know what it is. Like they see me walking through this bitch with cough syrup and all that shit. They like, bro, this kid's annoying. And it's like I didn't know this. Like someone should have told me, but Glendale's like all old white people and Asian people and Armenians and shit.
Yes.
And like shout out to them. I have nothing against any of them, but there's not too many of like me's out there, you know. And it's like where I was coming from in Koreatown, my neighbors is smoking backwoods. They playing music. They fighting someone. They doing all types of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like this is just how LA living is, and you know, being on all these rappers and shit. I'm riding around with rappers who do hella illegal shit nonstop. So I'm really desensitized to the shit I do. I'm like, this must be like, you know, super sweet. So I just, you know, to answer the question, I had to upgrade my lifestyle. and take myself more seriously in order to even get to the point where I can, now when I do have a period of time where I want to take a break, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna hit the king size Tempur-Pedic, which I still got to set up my little under shit. But like, I'm just setting shit up. And like, I learned that about myself. Cause like I could have bust down, like I said, my rent might be like over $3 a month. But like I said, if I'm paying for the parking garage, if I have to leave to go do laundry, if I can't leave after this time, if I'm, all these different things, they'll add up. I had a small kitchen before. All those things, now if I have a small kitchen, I'm ordering more Postmates. All those things would low-key add up to the same as the other shit. My last apartment was like $1,600 or some shit. But
are you still vegan or vegetarian?
100%. Never playing with them, never stopping.
You still vegan?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna put you on some fire food. Another thing too, we can talk about it. I hate vegans. Vegans are corny as fuck. I ain't no tree hugger ass vegan. I don't eat Beyond Meat. I don't eat soy meat. I eat like an Indian person. I eat chana masala, nigga. I eat dal. I eat goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Some good vegan sushi, avocado, cucumber. You know what I'm saying? I be with the apples and almond butter. You know what I'm saying? I got the water on deck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna play with them. Nigga gotta stay healthy. But
you feel like you have a lot of energy throughout the day?
Yeah, I always got energy.
You never feel tired or like, I don't know.
People be worried about me. Like, my grandma called me like, honey, you gotta get some sleep. I'm like, grandma, sleep is for the weak or the dead. Like, one of the two, but not for me. Oh, my God. Because, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I said, I got too much going on to, like, just be going to, like, I would literally go to sleep and feel insecure about it. Like, I'd be like, fuck, I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. And, like, I just got way better at going to sleep when I don't give a fuck. Like, if I have really something where I need to get some sleep or something going on, I'm gonna go to sleep. And, like, this is like a secret too. My customers know this, so like it's not that much of a secret. But like I can get a whole video shot and edited within like 3 hours. Like if anybody who follows me, they just saw one of my customers post. He was like, "Yo, we shot a video at 11 o'clock at night, and he had it back by 6 a.m. And the video is raw too. So it's like I hired a model. I got 2 cars. I had my homies pull up. I had a lighting crew pull up. I had BTS guy there. You know what I'm saying? Bring my whole production together. Shoot my video in like 45 minutes to an hour because I know every shot I want to do. And then I'm out that bitch. Like, and I talk to them just how I talk to you. Like, they know me. I'm fast paced. We gonna do it like this, and they just trust it. They just know what's going on. And I can get the video back that fast. So what I tell people is not, will it take me a long time to do something? It's how long will it take me to get to it? Because, like, I have other shit going on, other shit I'm working on, and my mind's a million places. And, like, I have my son, so, like, like, I have to take care of him, I have to do a lot still, like, as a parent. So, like, it's definitely, like, like, things I'll balance between all of it. But I definitely have time to chill. I definitely have time to kick it. I definitely have time to myself. I just use that time to get more money.
I feel that. That's what I was gonna ask you about. That's what I was like, kind of asking earlier. Like, is your relationship being a father as well and being so incredibly busy? It's like a lot. Like I'm not a dad, and I feel like a lot of people who aren't fathers like me have this like thought that especially
don't let him lie to you. Him and Riley got one on the way.
No, my God. Oh wow. But people like me, like sometimes they think that like, oh man, is a kid gonna make me less productive and stuff like that.
Nah, bro, that nigga turned me up, bro. That's another thing. People be like, yo, bro, be willing to like get fat as fuck, be willing to like go broke, be willing to like baby mama drama, like, bro, no, nigga, I'm not worried about none of that shit. Like, first of all, I wouldn't nothing that's gonna bother me that much, so like it's cool, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, everybody good, everybody taken care of. I take care of my son all the time. He's with me when I edit. He's with me. He see me, you know what I'm saying, go and getting the money. He see me come back, he'll run to me. Like, I pick him up whenever I want. That's my nigga, and he sees everything firsthand. So just like I did with my dad, I don't censor myself in front of him. He can see anything. Like, he can be with grandma smoking weed. He can be with my dad cussing. He can be like, cause my parents are a lot like, like they're not, like I said, my mama a G, So she not finna play. My dad don't play like, like it's just regular people. So like when I go out in society, I forget like, oh yeah, I don't have a job and I talk crazy. That doesn't mean everybody else does,
Yeah.
So my son has a different perception of all, but it's like, I'm just not gonna hide nothing from him. Like I'll be on set editing, like think about it like this. I'll be around models that are half naked, if not fully naked, and like I might be home editing it. I'm not saying I'm just like showing him this, but like he's gonna understand like, no, this is their job, they're models, they do this for a job. Like before he just has to go on the internet. Like people look at me, oh that's so oh no, he's seen a nipple. Like nigga, he's breastfed, he's seen a nipple, But like what the fuck, like, but at the same time, go look it up. These kids find porn at 11, 12, 13 anyways. So
no,
like,
it's good to be real.
He's
exactly,
gonna be desensitized
100%.
to it and know like, okay, it's a time and place for everything. That way he doesn't feel like he has to hide it and go elsewhere to see this kind of stuff. He already knows like, nah, I see daddy already be around the shit. He already know what's up. And it's like he not fazed by none of this shit, man. He fun fact, my son plays with money all day. Like this nigga like, and it's like I have like this prop money in my house, like $10,000 worth of prop money I use for music videos and shit sometimes. Like a lot of artists don't like prop money, fun fact. But It's actually really good because it'll save you from a lot of sticky situations. But anyways, he'll play with the prop money all day. Like, he just counts up bands all day, bro. And like, he has like this little corner where he'll like stuff it. Like, and one day I went and looked, and I kid you not, he had pieces of paper separated, which from the mail, then the money, and he had like, I don't know how much money it was because it's, you know, little hundreds and shit, 50s, but he had like just racks saved up in the corner, and he got hella mad. He's like 18 months, about to be 2, and he just like, no, like, he moved me like, no, it's my shit. Like, he's like, leave my shit alone.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, damn, bro got a bank, like, he on it. So
when are you gonna break his heart with the fact that it's prop money?
I'm never gonna, because it's just manifestation. he just around it. Like,
yeah.
I got a homie named Brock, and he keeps $100 bills all over his whole house, bro. Like, you open a drawer, it's $100 bill. You open this $100 bill, and he's not like, you know, that like rich. He's not like super crazy rich, but it's a mindset thing.
Wow.
To where everywhere you look, you're gonna see some money, you know. And anybody in his house he trusts. But if you took it to, like, swear to God, he wouldn't care. He's gonna be like, you know, that's on you. That's your karma. Like, that's on you. So like, you can't even, like, he can't even lose. Like, and it's just one of those things. Like, I kind of take, you know, inspiration from that. So like, I might even work with the prop money on my desk. And it's so funny too, because like, sometimes people will see me, and like, they'll like wonder like, oh, how much money do they make? Like, I promise you niggas, I'm running it up right now. But like, the prop money is still there for me because it's, like I said, it's safer. It's there. Like, but I've had that thought, like, when I'm sitting at a desk with like 10 racks on the table, and I'm like, if someone's looking through my window, they're gonna try and rob me. But like,
yeah, they're gonna think
fake.
it's real money.
Yeah, it's definitely
exactly.
fake. But yeah,
that's interesting. Okay, but all right, dude, this was a good long podcast. Pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to come back like 4 more times to get some more.
No, I'm
out.
down, bro. Honestly, I was gonna do an after show as well, but I know you're busy. You're more than welcome to stay if you want to.
Sure.
We're gonna end the stream and then start another stream called the after show. But bro, I appreciate you so much for coming through, man. That was a lot of information, and then also you have a lot of crazy stories. Like, we know each other, but I don't know that much about you.
Nah, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We gotta, and this is another thing too. Like, when you do bring me on, like, you low key gotta bring me on for like one of the after streams, because I'd rather talk about like current events more than myself. Because like with myself, I be scattered, and like I'm probably gonna regret 90% of the shit I said.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, you know, just like watching content and being a part of the culture, I do have a lot of opinions on like what's going on, because like I be there and I see it, and sometimes I'll be watching shit and I'm like, oh no, they have it so wrong. This is not what's going on. Like,
when I'm talking.
When you're but see, that's what's so crazy. Like, watching the rise of Yuri has been like insane for me. And like, shout out to AD too. I told him, like, when we first met up, like, you know, I was with AD in the studio. He's showing me his music before, like, we did music videos, and we shot the community clips video. Mm-hmm. He was like playing me so much shit, and I told him, like, bro, you were one of the best edifiers I've ever seen. And if people don't know what edification is, it's just to like take like the traits of somebody, their strength, and like basically turn them up. And like, even how he's just saying like he saw you as a personality, and he's proud of you, like the whole like meme of that shit. It's just a real thing. Like, I really do believe like he saw something in you, and like he said he wanted you as his co-host and all that shit.
No, facts,
it's like
dude.
Super cool to me, because he like plays this role in like the whole world where like, to me, I'm not saying Adam didn't, because he did. Like I said, I even found out about you through Adam. But like, AD shined like a different kind of light on you, which to me made like a different world more receptive to you. And like, I just appreciate that, even as like a friend of you and like a fan of you, because I'm like, yes, like another like step for Yuri. Like, he's gonna keep going up.
I appreciate you,
and
man.
then like, I just heard him yesterday. I was watching the stream, and he was like, did you see the new Back on Fig?
No, I haven't.
So like, they're like, it was one of the two. It was either his shit or Back and Fake. But they were like, he was like, Yuri is the reason I wanted to start streaming. No, it was the new, I think the new No Jumper. He's like, Yuri's the reason I wanted to start streaming. They're like, yeah, like he was like doing this shit, and then I figured out I could do it, and then let it out. And I'm just like, it's just so dope to know like my boy's playing a role in other people's lives, and like you're inspiring, and you're doing for other people what you did for me, which has inspired me. So like, you know what I'm saying, if y'all watch this, just know Yuri's hella inspiring. And you probably don't even remember this, bro, but like I said, I already got a computer by that point, and I was good. But you offered me to give me your whole desktop and your computer. Like, bro, if you need something to edit on a little more high powered, I got this computer. You're like, I'm about to send it to like my sister in Texas or some shit. Mm-hmm. But you can use it until then. And I was like, bro, Yuri's the GOAT.
I do remember that.
You just were always willing to help. And like, I never took you up on any of your offers, but the fact that you know what I'm saying, you extended these things out. So like, if y'all have friends that are talented, you know, do the exact same thing, because sometimes it's not necessarily about, you know, Yuri helping me or me helping Yuri. It might be like God's or universe's way of pulling our universes together, so we can, you know, continue to influence and doing what we're doing. Fast forward today, my brother's successful, I'm successful, we doing our shit. 5 more years from now, we gonna be millionaires owning some more shit. So You know what I'm saying?
No facts. Shout out to AD. That's a good point. I learned a new word right there too. Edification.
Edification. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do.
No, that's fire. But no, yeah, dude. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much for that. And I'm super glad and proud of all your success and all the things you've been doing. And like it's been fucking insane just watching you on Instagram. If you guys haven't already, go check out his Instagram, Produced by Turtle.
Fuck all that. Don't go to Produced by Turtle. We already got enough followers.
Oh
yet.
yeah.
I need y'all to go to SeaWorld.
There you go. SeaWorld.
SeeWorld.mp4. Go subscribe to the YouTube. We just dropped a music video. You know what I'm saying? We got 4 videos or 5, I think, on my actual Instagram page. I need y'all to don't even go there. Do not follow, actually. Listen to me. Do not follow the page. If you're not going to like, if you're not going to comment, if you're not going to at least repost it, it's okay. You don't owe me shit. Y'all don't owe Yuri shit. Y'all don't owe, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already support my boy. Y'all good. But if y'all want to go there, if y'all like what I was talking about, if y'all want to see more, if y'all want logos, graphics, anything like that, go ahead and tap in. You know what I'm saying, and follow and support that page. That's the best way you can do anything to support me. Because like I said, I built up enough companies and enough people and helped out enough worlds. Now it's time to actually get my shit in order and start pushing this shit up. So
Facts.
I appreciate y'all for watching this shit. And like I said, bro, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you,
My
guys.
nigga.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And shout out to everyone watching. Thank you guys so much. We're going to end the stream and then get into the after show after this. But all right.